Yeah, very limber. Um, so yeah, we got a lot we could talk about. Just some spontaneous stuff. We still have another decade to go in the NWA history. We could talk
We
about
could do
that.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're up to what, 2010?
I believe so. I'm trying to
I
find
believe
it
we
here. Where
are.
is it at?
Mm-hmm.
Here it
No, I
is.
like that. I enjoy that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, 2010s. Yep, we'll talk
Although
about
that
that too.
was it 2000 or whatever that decade was, there's a lot of names I had no idea who they were.
Yeah, well, even 2010s, I'm seeing a lot of names I don't recognize. Although I have heard of El Gran Apollo. Phil Shatter. Anybody heard of?
Hey, Andy, when Jay Uso joins Judgment Day.
Hey, Platinum. Gotta take it easy on Johnny tonight, would you please?
Doesn't that look cool?
Please. Please.
That's good. That's good, Richard.
He looks like an emo.
The hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Landon's buddy's watching.
There you go.
The other guy.
The other guy.
That
Well,
Kinzer Kill guy.
Yeah. Ben joined our show as a guest a few weeks ago, and I was busy doing stuff behind the scenes. I was talking, I was introducing Ben. I completely dropped the name out of his group out of my head, and I said that other group. So he's been forever known since as the other guy. So
the other
Those
guy.
other guys.
yeah,
The other guy from the other group.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
That,
forgot. I forgot
That
names
other
for that
wrestling
weird.
show.
Yeah, and I just realized I forgot to set the countdown timer up.
Now, since you guys were talking about the NWA just a second ago, I'm going to see, I don't know how well you can see it, this actor, Stuart Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I just rewatched all of the early 90s Ninja Turtle movies this past week.
Awesome.
And he's in the
awesome.
third one. And all I could think about is because this guy is just like Hogan 91 tan, just so dark. All I could think about is that's Tim Storm.
Oh, put that
It's
picture
not.
back up.
It's not really him, but it looks like him. Like
Put that picture back up there. Let me see. Yeah, I kind of see it. Yeah.
in the eyes, he's got some nice gray highlights in
Yeah.
the movie. He's a little bigger than
Oh.
some of the other actors. I
I
was
like
like,
Tim. I like Tim Storm. He's
Hey,
like a
Landon.
wrestler and a good commentator. I like him both.
He's also a teacher.
What's
Is he
up,
really?
Jose?
he is.
That's his full time job. He's a teacher. Can you imagine going to his class?
Speaking of the Ninja Turtles, Landon, I got an autograph by Ernie,
Very nice.
and I got a pop figure from him, and then Leonardo, the guy who played Leonardo. He was
Hey,
also
Ashley.
in the Revenge of the Nerds movie.
My Ashley, not your Ashley. Not your
I
Ashley.
actually,
I was
Hey,
like, wait a
Ashley.
minute.
Yeah, Landon's got an Ashley too.
So let's just say I got my nerd on.
well, I got a
Comic-Con.
Melissa, and Mark's got a Melissa. So hey,
Yeah.
you know,
Hey, we all
Yeah.
got M's. I got a Megan.
Well, your guys, Melissa's Ashley's wives. Mine's are daughters. Mine are daughters.
Ah.
Richard, I don't know if you can see this, but I just picked up the NECA movie turtles the other day.
Oh wow.
And they look like statues, and so I was like, all right.
I want to get those. I got these instead. These little guys. I want the Paramount figures, the bigger ones,
Yeah.
and I want the originals.
I decided I'm just going to let the intro play over the top of us. I'm not going to try to take us out. It's just too
Hey,
much
there you
to do.
go.
We'll just deal with it. I'm trying to
Yeah, we
stretch
were
out the
at the-
intro where it cover the whole screen.
We were at that Comic-Con, me and my son. I said I want to get these guys autographs. He goes, "Well, buy 2 pops." I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. I did hear on another podcast this week. So I guess the latest thing with, ambushing wrestlers at airports is they will
Oh.
go buy Funko Pops on clearance and they will rip the plastic out and they will take just that plastic to the airport to
Yep.
get signed. And
Oh,
then
wow.
they'll go buy like the actual Funko Pop, rip that plastic out, glue in the autograph plastic.
Oh wow. See, I have my stuff personalized.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
Mhm. Definitely.
And that's
The
terrible.
way
to
to show
ambush those guys
respect
like
to
that.
people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, at
I
least
mean,
you're not
the airport's
going
stressful.
to Arn
so-
Anderson's house. We'll see you on the other side, guys.
Good evening, I'm Richard, aka The Warden, and you are watching Spanning the Globe.
Having too much fun during the intro. Welcome, everybody. This is Spanning the Globe. It's Thursday night. Thank you for joining us again, like you do every Thursday night. My name is Mark Maggard. I am your host. Joining me tonight are my usual cast of characters, Mr. Richard Ward, a.k.a.
How's
The
it going,
Warden,
everybody?
Mr. Andy Bulger,
Everybody, how you doing?
Mr. Ben Walker, our new regular co-host.
Good evening, everyone.
And tonight we have a special guest tonight, which I will get to in just a second. But before I do that, I want to remind everybody that our podcast is sponsored by Mark Leather Championship Belt Leathering and by Unique Championship Belts. I'll play their commercial in the second hour. And if you're watching us on Facebook and you don't click on the StreamYard link and click on the link that allows your name to appear on the screen, you just appear as one of many Facebook users commenting. And we like to know who's watching the show so we can give you a special shout out. If you don't want to do that, you can go over to YouTube and go to the Wide World of Belts YouTube channel and click on the Spanning the Globe, the current stream that's showing live right now. And if you're watching us on YouTube, that portion of the show is made possible by the Brothers of Kayfabe podcast. And speaking of the Brothers of Kayfabe, one of the brothers is joining us tonight, and that is Mr. Landon Bumgarner.
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me.
Welcome to Spanning the Globe.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great. You know, Mark, we talked about this a little bit before we went on air, but this has been a long time coming.
It has. It has.
Oh, definitely. What's going on,
I'm-
Platinum?
I met Landon during COVID.
Yeah.
We went to a church camp that they actually allowed to happen during the lockdowns, and he was our music guy for the church camp that year because they didn't have the big service. And he and I got to talk and discover we had a mutual love of wrestling. Got to comparing notes, and we just been getting along ever since.
Now, I do have a story about that to share that I've never told you, Mark.
Okay.
What's up, Jose? Thanks for tuning in.
And so, you know, with wrestling fans, you can tell when somebody's a wrestling fan. We can pick each other out. And there were two high school boys that wrestle on the wrestling team, and they got into it. They're just roughhousing, you know, wrestling around, and one rolls up the other. And Mark slides in, and he doesn't do an amateur wrestling pin, does a pro wrestling 3 count. And I thought, I'm just going to keep my eyes out for any wrestling stuff. And then I
What's
can't
up,
remember
Paul?
if I was wearing like a wrestling shirt or something, but you came up and I was like, I knew it. I knew
I don't remember doing the pin count. I honestly don't remember that.
it was
What's
just,
up, Nor?
I think you were in the middle of playing ping pong or something. They
Okay.
crashed and they wrestled, and you were right there. So you just dropped down 1, 2, 3,
Okay.
count the
Hold-
pin. I thought, all right, you know, not
hold on.
everybody's just doing 3 counts.
Landon, you're actually being seen in Malaysia, and this is our buddy Noor.
Ooh.
And we have a special shout out we give Noor every week.
Thanks for tuning in, bud.
So we do that for him every week. Just
Hey,
have a running
Everybody
gag.
knows his name.
Yeah,
Mhm.
everybody knows his name.
Yeah.
That's
There
right.
we go.
Exactly. There's our Kebby Bartokimus, our resident
What's up,
comedian.
Kebby?
What's up, Kebby? Who's this guy?
Who's that guy?
Who-
That's
who
that
the-
Kinzer Keel guy.
Yeah. We've had him on the show before. Landon actually had me on the Brothers of Kayfabe podcast. It was the audio version. There was a video version too, right, on the Patreon part?
Yes, because it's before we moved to StreamYard and it was Patreon only, but we do need to have you back on.
I'd be happy to sometime. We'll work that out. We'll book it.
We absolutely will.
I'll have my
What's up,
representatives get
Scott?
with your representatives. We'll do lunch. Oh, Scott, thank you for joining us
Happy
tonight.
Thursday.
Okay. We always recognize our viewers when they watch. Paul Basso, that's somebody you don't see comment very often. Welcome to the show. Thank
Hey,
you for
Paul.
joining us tonight.
What's going on, Paul?
He's got a lot of belts.
Who's this guy?
It's Cuddles.
The Cuddle Master.
Yeah.
He's number one.
Kinzer must like her her,
Sky
her
blue,
attention.
sky blue.
I get that impression.
Hey, she
Well,
loves
Lane?
Chicago. That's all I
Yeah.
got to say.
Very much.
Drew, another one of our regulars.
Drew.
Thank you for joining us tonight.
What's up, Drew? What's up, Lane?
I want to take this opportunity for just a moment, then we'll get to the belts of the week. I didn't realize this till just a little while before the show started that we were recognized by PTM. We appreciate the shout out. So if you haven't watched Pounding the Meat, give them a shout out sometime or give them a check out. They usually air at the same time we're airing, but they aired a couple days ago, didn't they?
Thank you,
when they were
guys.
on-
Shout out to Pounding the Meat.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
Yeah.
I think they were
shout
on
out.
Tuesday, if
Good
I
gu-
believe so.
It's a good group of guys there.
Yeah, Vinny, Jay, Joe, Ethan, and Michael Jones, and
Appreciate the shout out, gentlemen.
very professional show. They do a good job. Great job. They do a great job. We appreciate you. Nor we had him on a few weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
We got a fan in Australia too.
Wow.
Oh, Kinzer's in a mood tonight. he's
There you go.
he's booking an event while we're talking.
I mean, Survivor Series is just around the corner.
It is.
Right?
Hey, Randall. How you doing,
No
buddy?
Randall. No Randall.
Randall, what's going on,
How's
buddy?
it going,
Very
Randall?
often either. Glad to have you
Walt
watching.
Diggin tuning in. What's going on, guys?
Richard, who's
Good
this
evening.
gal? You know
Yeah,
this
Megan.
gal?
She looks familiar. Who is
Oh,
that,
the
Richard?
wifey tuned in.
Hey, Megan.
She's looking forward to the belt reveal. She wants
Mr.
to know what's
Walt?
in the box.
We
What's
all
up,
do,
Walt?
Richard. We're all looking forward to that.
PTM is on now. Okay,
They
awesome.
are now.
Okay.
Yeah, they usually are, and then they'll come on and watch the show, our second hour. So yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, Ethan usually comments. So before we move on, I want to start with the belt of the week, and that will start our hour number one, our opening bell. This belt of the week is brought to you by not me, because you guys have seen my belts many times. So I was going to do something different tonight. This is a real leather job I just finished yesterday, and this belt is courtesy of EJ Kelly, who is the owner and admin of the 4mm Belts group, and he's also an admin in the Big Boys Belts group. And you've probably seen him do some of his promos while showing off some of his belts, things like that. So he sent me over this Hogan 86, which was made by Orm Belts, and I'm going to put that up on the screen. I just finished this leather job yesterday, and I apologize for the shade. I filmed this in the early afternoon, and it was so hot. I want to get in the shade, so there's some shade there. And
Was it before or after your nap?
yeah, it might
Hey,
have
you
been during.
said shade. I would have laid down in the shade.
Might have been during my nap. I don't know. that block logo there, WWF block logo, that's hand carved, by the way. I hand
Wow.
carved that.
Did you have any kind of a stencil or anything, or
Yeah, I
just
use
freehand?
a stencil. Yeah, and what I
Very nice.
do is I tape that stencil over the leather. I got lines vertical and horizontal to mark the center point. And I'll take a scratch awl and just put dots around the perimeter
Wow.
of the lines, and then just connect them with a swivel knife, and then start tooling. There's your backing. It's got a nice little curve to the main plate. I'm gonna ship
just-
this off to him tomorrow. It's got a belt. He had me put a different tip on it than what came with it. But
That's
this is
nice.
by Orm Belts. Look at curve.
Wow.
I
Yeah.
just had the Pee Wee Herman song in my head. Connect the dots.
Connect the dots, yeah. So
R.I.P.
there's your Hogan 86 by Orm. Very beautiful belt. I love the plates.
Great job on that. Great
I know.
job.
Look at that leather. The border of the belt. He did that on mine too. It came out really good.
Thank you.
Well, good job, Mark.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Fantastic. Yeah.
And I'm in the process of finishing up a Dome Globe by Dream Championship Belts. I'm lacing it right now. It's 3/4 of the way done. I'll have that one done tomorrow. And I got 2 more belts I've got people wanting. So, and one I had to order. I had that world class tag last week, I sold it. The next day, the guy bought it. 2 hours later, another guy said, "I'll take that belt." So I just sold it. Well, I want it, so
Wow.
I ordered another set of plates so he could get a WCCW tag.
There
What's
you
up,
go.
Tyler?
Let's see, where we at? CJ Smith. He's the one that's getting that Dome Globe I'm working on.
Tell you what,
Yeah.
those burgers were off the chain, Tyler.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, they were.
Looked
Yeah.
a bit. They looked a bit sweet though, Tyler.
But no, CJ Smith's buying that Dome Globe off of me, and as I told him right before the show started, I hope to have it finished tomorrow. It just needs snaps and about 2.5, 3 foot of lacing left to do, which I can get done in an hour or two, and I should be able to ship it Saturday morning before I leave for Dallas Fort Worth, or on Monday, depending on how things go. No, Cuddles. It's not how much it costs. It's I want it in a giveaway.
No, it was a raffle win. She knows that.
Raffle. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, raffling. I was just trying to get you where you weren't forking any money for it. So
That only works for
Thank
so
you.
long.
yeah, thank you, Facebook user. Facebook user, aka FU. Thank you, Mark. Appreciate it. I did a custom belt for him. Tyler, you put some of the funniest stuff. I thought PTM was live. Ethan's commenting.
Yeah.
Hey,
No, they're
he's-
live.
Ethan's in here.
are they live?
Yep,
Okay.
Ethan.
They're
He's
live.
doing double
Yeah,
duty
he's in
tonight. Okay. Appreciate that.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Hi. Hello. I don't know if he's in heel mode tonight or what. He's a manager. He's a manager of some of the local promotions in Oklahoma City.
I actually have it on good authority that he may have won both Manager of the Year and Villain of the Year, but
Really?
Ooh.
He
I
had
don't know
my
if the
vote.
official
I
results
voted
are
for
in
him.
yet or not.
I
I voted for him.
Got my vote.
So tell us about the Brothers of Kayfabe podcast.
Yeah. So funny enough, we started this podcast. I want to say maybe it was like a week either before or a week into the pandemic. Just because we were bored and we wanted to talk about wrestling, but everyone and their dog has a wrestling podcast, and so we thought, well, how can we do it but do something differently? And so, we could just sit there and review everything, which we do a little bit of. But the purpose of Brothers in Kayfabe is, you got to be a unique brand of cat to get into wrestling, to become a wrestling fan. And everybody that becomes a wrestling fan, it's because they find something they like. And so the whole idea is let's celebrate and talk about what got us into wrestling, why we watch wrestling, whether it's current stuff or older stuff, and chat with others and their stories.
Awesome. Now you grew up watching. I know, but tell the audience what you grew up watching.
Yeah. So primarily I grew up watching WWE, but it was just a couple of years before depending on who you talk about it, the good or the terrible relaunch of WWE's version of ECW. And there was just something about those inaugural WWE ECW pay-per-views that I was like, okay, this is a little bit different format than regular WWE programming. Yeah, I see in magazines something called ECW used to actually exist. So I started going back and just fell in love with it. There's something about how raw and gritty it was that, it was a display of just like, as a, like any good teenage boy, just seeing like amounts of violence and chaos that, you're not just going to see on everyday TV. In fact, my earliest memory of ECW, and you guys will appreciate this, is flipping through the TV Guide channel. This is back when the original ECW was on TNN. So about 2000, 2001. TV Guide channel just promoting a pay-per-view. Don't remember the pay-per-view, but it says steel chairs. Shows a shot of the steel chair, staple guns, New Jack with the staple gun, kendo sticks, all this stuff, all these weapons. I'm like, my cartoons don't look like this. The action movies I watch don't look like this. This is crazy. And so I sprint out. My dad's mowing the lawn. I stop him. I'm like, Dad, I just saw this thing on TV. They're using staple guns and chairs and barbed wire. And they were hitting each other. He's like, oh, that's just that fake WWF stuff. Don't worry about it. And I was like, but I know what I saw, and that wasn't fake. There's no way that was fake. And then fast forward a couple of years, I actually discover wrestling, get into it, and become the ECW fanboy. As Richard, I think you were the one who pointed out, my coincidental ECW purple lighting in the background.
Oh yeah.
Check out the purple lighting. Yep.
Yeah. So here it is. It's just
I
one of
expect to
those
see
things.
Undertaker. I expect to see Undertaker come to that door any moment.
Is that
Hey.
Colt Cabana hanging from your microphone?
It is my boy Boom Boom. And
Boom, boom.
can you tell what belt he's got on?
NWA TV or
That's the Hogan 80,
Hogan 80.
It is the
Fine.
Hogan. It is the Hogan belt.
Hogan
Yeah.
85.
But I thought, you know what? It looks good. I'll close my eyes and pretend it's a different belt and put it on Colt.
So you're a Colt Cabana fan.
I am. In fact, you know, I attribute the fact that Brothers in Kayfabe exists to his podcasts.
Awesome.
And you know, to peel back the curtain a little bit, I do, you know, I'm in ministry work, but I also do a lot of post-production and audio as a side hustle. And I've gotten to work with Colt on several podcasts and projects before. So it was just a real cool full circle moment for me. It's like, hey, this is, you know, it's like getting to meet the wrestler that brought you into wrestling. And hey, you know, can I take your picture that night, or, you know, can I carry your entrance robe back to the locker room for you? So it's not everybody's cup of tea, but I appreciate what he's contributed to the wrestling podcast world. And
Hey, that's awesome, man.
Yeah, very nice.
it's cool when you get to meet your heroes and then coincidentally you get to work with them a little bit too.
This is a loaded question, and Landon knows why. But did you have a belt collection prior to starting your podcast?
No. So it's one of those things growing up. I used to, I into wrestling action figures, have been, that's actually one of the ways I really got into wrestling is because I had friends that had them. And once again, it was like, these don't look like my Star Wars toys. You know, these guys are all jacked up. They come with weapons that aren't guns. So like what's going on?
Nice.
And so I used to get the Figures Inc. Catalogs. And so I'd flip through and, you know, they've got books, they've got DVDs, but the first couple of pages were always their belts. And they'd have, you know, here are the belts you can get, but then here are the Reggie Parks belts that you can get that are, you know, hand approved or, you know, personally approved by him or whatever the case was. And so I'd never owned a wrestling belt because it was one of those things I was like, well, I'm going to get this one first, then this one, then this one, then this one. And then as a kid, I realized, oh, there's a couple more zeros in there than I was expecting. Let's wait till I get a big boy job. And then I was like, oh, bills are really expensive. Let me wait till I get an even bigger big boy job.
Yeah.
Right.
So when did you get your first belt?
So I actually got it around Christmas 2022. In fact, I have a picture somewhere on my phone, but I'm not going to pull it up. But Mark, you being the salesman that you are, you were pushing me, man, we got to get you a belt. And I was like, well, you know, these are the belts that I would like to get. And of course, you know, the 10 pounds of gold. And you were like, hey, let me know when you're ready. I'll get you hooked up with plates. We can get this going. I was like, oh, I will. It's not at the top of my list. It's one of those things. There's other things I would like to collect first.
You were still fresh in your marriage too, so that played a part.
Yeah.
So he
this
twisted
thing
your
called-
arm like he twisted our arm, huh?
Yeah, exactly. And it was one of those things I was like, you know, I'm not in the market now, but as soon as I am, like you're the first guy I'm going to, because I know you know way more about this than I do. And then one day around late fall, around Thanksgiving, 2022, the only Mr. Marvelous One, Mark Maggard, slid into my messages and said, hey, do you still want a belt? And I was like, yeah, but you know, it all depends on the price. And he said, well, I've got a really, really great one that I purchased it. I was going to flip it, but if you want it, it's all yours. I was like, well, let's see what belt it is. And I saw the pictures. So I was like, all right, so when can we meet up?
I knew which button to push.
Yep, man. It was one of those things. It's like, you know, he didn't have to twist my arm. I was already holding it out here.
Well, I came across that deal. I just knew somebody that got a hold of it for me for a really, really good price. And I was going to flip it, make a ton of money on it, I thought. And I knew that was a belt you wanted. And I thought, well, I will sell it to you for what I got into it. Because I
There's
just
a
wanted
chance
you to
of a lifetime, man.
I wanted you to
Yeah.
have a start in the belt hobby and or at least a belt you loved, and if that was the only belt you had, I'd be happy with that. So that's the deal we made, and there was no pressure. You paid me when you wanted to, and it worked out perfect.
That's
Same
what
deal
it's
with
all
Jake.
about.
Same
Yeah.
deal
It's
with
all
Jake.
about.
It was one of those things. Like I talked to my wife immediately. I was like, "Hey, I know Christmas is coming up,
Please.
but you know, Mark. You've met Mark before. He's a good guy. We can trust him. You know, he's cut me a great deal. Here's the backstory." She's like, "All right, as long as that's what it really costs." I was like,
With their hands on their hips.
"Yep." And so we cut the deal. I brought it home. In fact, I can't remember. I don't think you had even opened it up all the way, Mark. I think you had kept it partially wrapped.
Yeah, I did. I just opened up to make sure to verify the belt.
Yeah, and so I got to open it right then and there. I was kind of in shock. I was like, "Oh, wow, this is really happening. This is actually here. This is way better than my Jack's Pacific foam belt that came with my
Those
action
were the
figure."
things back then.
Hey, they were, especially they
Yeah.
got the rights to start publishing, you know, some of the older 80s and 90s belts as well.
Yeah.
It was cool.
You got that belt there handy?
Well, I mean,
Or you could send me the picture. I'll be happy to put it up on
I,
screen. Always.
Definitely, Randy.
I just happen to have it right here. So it is
Ooh.
Very
the
nice.
Figures Inc. ECW Championship. It is the one. I don't know if it's showing up because of the glare, but it does have the Taz logo with the baseball bats.
Ooh, that's one
Copyright
on my list.
is 2003, but it's a beautiful thing. I like it. Mark, we had several conversations about this. The difference is in the color of the ECW logo.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because the red logos are super easy to find, but that's whenever ECW relaunched in 2006. And it's
Mhm.
like, I like that one, but I need the one that I
Is that,
idolized growing
is
up.
that the one with the orange backing on it? Yep.
Yep.
That's the one I got.
It sure is. You can see it's aged a little bit, but it's
Yeah.
super
It's
sturdy.
in great
It's
shape for
held
the
up.
ages. It's
That's
for
the
sale.
OG. That's the OG.
Yeah, I don't know if it'll show up, but it is. Yeah, you
Yeah.
won't be able to
Yep.
see, but it's 2003 Figs Inc.
Mhm.
Came with the original velvet bag. Is a WrestleMania 20 bag, so that just shows you it was that 2003 2004 timepiece. But it's one of those things. Is like, man, I wish I had a fireplace so I could hang this above it.
Right? Get yourself a belt case with the velvet in the back.
Hey,
Get you a 4-shelf Detolf and get you some more belts.
Hey, don't think I haven't thought about that before, but it's one of those things to where, you know, like you said, Mark, if this was the only belt I could own for me personally, this is it. Obviously, if somebody wants to be a sponsor of the Brothers in Kayfabe and hook me up with a couple other belts, I won't say no. There's obviously other ones I'd love, but if this is the only one I own, I'm content with it. Especially just the fun part of the Taz logo is on there, and
That's awesome.
I'm sure you guys have heard that story.
How many promos have you cut with that thing over your shoulder?
Yeah.
Ones that there's evidence of, 0. But the ones when there's no witnesses, the Amazon Alexas are unplugged, the phone microphones are turned off, several. And you know, is a fun thing. I'm sure you guys have done this too.
Wait,
Have the
WD.
buddies come over and it's like, hey, let me show you what I got, and pull this out. They're like, this is heavier than I thought. Man, this thing's bigger than I thought. And it's like, yeah. Now it's hardcore rules. So first one to lose by pinfall or submission is the champion. So get ready.
I do that when they walk in my room. They're like,
Yeah.
"Oh my god!"
That belt was part of a collection of someone who had passed away, and I think from what I understand of the story, his kids put all his collection up on auction. They were all immaculate belts. They just been displayed, never been touched otherwise. And a gentleman by the name of Dan Casper had access to this auction. He said, "Hey, if you want any belts," I said, "Well," and I knew Landon wanted an ECW. I said, "Are there any ECW belts?" He said, "Yeah, there's an ECW heavyweight." And he told me about the belt.
Yeah.
I knew nothing about
I
ECW. I knew nothing about the Taz belt, but I went by what he told me. I thought, you know, if I can get this at a decent price, and I got it for a great price.
Yeah.
And for what you got a bonus. I was just wanting to get you your first belt, but you got an excellent belt for your first belt. I mean,
Yeah. There's a couple of belt makers in the group that had even reached out to me before. They're like, hey, if you're ever you're ever looking for this, let me know. And I was like, oh, I'll keep these all in the back of my head. And then, but I mean, it's fate the way that
one you
lined
want
up.
the original.
Yeah.
That's one of the
Yeah.
belts you want the original.
Yeah.
Unless you
And I
got a
got-
good maker that could make a good one, but that's
Yeah.
a good one.
Yeah. Lassus replica is always best if you get one, and those Figures Inc. belts are getting more rare every day. So,
Yeah.
uh,
It,
You'll have to-
it's a full circle thing because, like I said, growing up, looking at the catalogs of like, man, I wish I could have this belt and this belt. And what are the odds? What's the coincidence that my only belt that I have right now would be a Fig Inc. one?
yeah,
Right?
I'm just glad I was able to get you started in the belt hobby, and that particular belt was just a bonus. So,
Yeah. So when I'm spending $4,000 on the next one, I'll know who to come
Ooh.
after for collateral.
we met in Oklahoma City. He lives in the Oklahoma City area, and I went up there to take him that belt while I was picking up some leather, and we had lunch at Raising Cane's and talked a little wrestling and stuff like that. So we had a great day. Great day. I had that same trip with his co-part in the Brothers Kayfabe podcast, Kinzer Keel, and he got a Dome Globe. It wasn't the Figs Inc., but he got a Dome Globe. So I got you both guys your dream belts, and I was just happy
So
to be a
now,
part of that.
Landon, if you get any more, remember the word raffle, okay?
Yeah.
I won it in a raffle.
Yeah, run a
Yeah.
raffle or a giveaway because I actually got two
Yeah,
belts.
or a
from you.
giveaway. Yeah.
They just told me to pay shipping. It was free.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Heck of a deal.
yeah, heck of a deal.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you're able to join that. If you could ever need more belts, I'll see what I can do for you.
Oh, I know exactly who to come to.
All right.
That's awesome. man.
So now, as I understand it, now talking to Kinzer, he was on the show a few months ago, and he was talking about designing a belt for the Brothers of Kayfabe podcast. Have you heard any more about that?
I mean, we even talked about it in a couple of months, but there was the idea of, I don't want to peel back the curtain too much because it's not totally off the table, but it's not totally on the table. But let's just say there is some talks of producing some original content.
Nice.
And of course, what's the point in competing if there's not a world championship to go after?
Right.
And so there were some conversations. I think it's something, we do need a Brothers in Kayfabe championship, and there it is.
Now,
There it is.
Now, if it's actually defended, that's another thing. Never
Yeah.
say never.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where it's it's just a great thing to have. I love the fact that there's people that they get them for their fantasy football leagues, or they get them for weddings and anniversaries. It's just like
Hot
it's
dog
just
eating
what
contest.
a cool fun way. It's eye catching for whatever the occasion is.
Oh yeah. People sit there and look down their nose at these belts, but they're curious.
Yeah.
They are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had people look at me and go,
Yeah.
what are you holding there? It's a wrestling belt. Oh.
Yeah.
You don't say.
Yeah.
Let me see that.
Did you win that? I sure did. In a raffle.
Yep.
But yeah, he was talking about having some kind of wrestling thing going on, or do some type of wrestling promotion around the Brothers of Kayfabe. But
Like I said, never say never, but it's one of those things if we were to ever launch something like that, we want to launch it well and not like we're going to kind of get it started. We'll just kind of wait how it goes. It's when we're ready, we've got 6 months of everything mapped out and ready to go. So never say never. The belt will come in existence at some point. Now, whether it's officially defended or not is another story, but we could just do the 24/7 rule, and we'll just
That'd be
we'll just
pretty
fight between studios. We'll just show up and take it.
cool. Right.
there you go. I have a top contender in mind.
Ah.
That's Gianni.
He's ready. He's ready.
Tony Khan wants to sign him. I want
There you
that
go.
guy.
Hey, they'll be hugging at a press conference before we know it.
There we go.
That
He said,
guy's name
we're
is
going to have a
CM
pay-per-view
Chunk.
in your town next week, but we're going to fire you the day before.
Yeah.
Oh my
But
God.
Kinzer's got experience being a wrestling manager, so he has some behind the scenes knowledge that might come in handy when you start that endeavor. So
Yeah,
You never
we've
know.
we've got a secret group of people put together. Getting some really good input, different levels of experience. Because, like I said, this is something anybody could be like, "Hey, we want to put on a wrestling show." It's get your promoting license, pay the fee for that, pay the fee for the insurance, rent the building, do whatever you want. But it's another thing this isn't going to be a one and a done. If we're going to do this, let's do it well. Let's add some longevity, not we'll figure it out when we get there. We know exactly where we're going. We just need a little momentum.
Mark, I've actually given this some thought. I've actually given that belt some thought. But
the Brothers of Kayfabe Battle Royal.
Hey, there you go. Coming to a birthday party backyard next year.
There you go. So the Brothers Kayfabe podcast. Now you record those shows, right? You pre-record them and then air them later.
Kind of. So we record 24 hours in advance, and then we just make it available online for you. It's available anywhere you want to.
It's on Linktree,
download.
it's on Apple Podcasts, and wherever you get your podcasts.
Are you guys
everywhere.
on Spotify too?
We are.
Oh, cool.
We're everywhere except I think Stitcher just recently closed down, or they're getting ready to close down, so that's not an option. But everywhere else will. There you go. Unlike Sting.
Cool.
And so it's one of those things to where, like I said earlier, we just love talking about why we love wrestling and some of the things, whether it's, man, I really love this match, or it's, I alluded to it earlier. I love the video of the Horseman jumping Dusty in the parking lot in front of Crockett's office and breaking his arm because it looks like a snuff film. Right? And it's like, I don't think I'm supposed to be watching this. This is illegal.
You feel dirty for watching.
Yeah, because I just just shoot him on camera. Like, what's gonna happen? But there's all these things. You just listening to different stories. Mark, that camp we met at, we sat around a table for a couple hours just talking about different wrestling matches that we liked or things we've encountered, and it's just fun because I love nostalgia. It's a high I'm constantly chasing. It's why I collect stuff. It's why I'm spending all my money on things related to stuff I'm nostalgic about. But it's just this idea of, man, there's something about that there's even psychological studies about just the power of memory, and more importantly, the things that trigger memory, and just being able to share that with other people. And it's like, hey, me and Andy may not agree 100% on what wrestling shows we watch throughout the week.
Yeah.
But I promise we can find the wrestling that we both love and that we enjoy. And we know, like, man, you remember what it was like watching that match the first time, or seeing your guy win the belt, or seeing your guy lose the belt for the first time in my case. And it's just one of those things. We could talk about wrestling statistics and match and star ratings and stuff like that, but I'd much rather talk about, man, like, why do you keep going back to wrestling? Why do you keep doing it?
What I like about your show is that you break down all these like WrestleManias, Survivor Series. You break down each match by match and give your analysis of each match in the events, and I really like that. It's very detailed.
Yeah, and they do it in real time because you guys are watching it while you're doing it too, right?
Yeah, we try to as often as possible. Sometimes it's a couple hours later, or if it's a Sunday pay-per-view, then we're recording that Monday night while Raw's going on. And it's just one of those things to where we try and keep it healthy, giving the perspective of my wrestling fandom, the perspective of Jake's wrestling fandom, and if we have a guest on, their perspective, and giving our takes. And even if it's a good, it's a positive thing, or it's like, man, this stuff frustrates me to no end, we always try and circle back to, but at the end of the day, hey, watch what you like and stick to that, because nobody's forcing you to watch wrestling that you don't like. Like, I keep up with modern wrestling. I couldn't tell you the last time outside of a pay-per-view I sat through a full episode.
What's up, Joseph Rotunda?
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Okay.
That's why I put the laughing emoji.
You hold all the cards, brother.
But that's what's good about all of us, Landon, is we, like Mark and Andy. I mean, I've watched old school wrestling, but they introduced me to more of the old school, and I like it even more. I mean, I like the new stuff, but I like the older stuff even more, and that's what's good about all of us. Even Ben.
Richard's
You know?
belt collection comprised mostly of WWE belts, WWF era belts, and the first belt I think I sold you was an NWA TV, wasn't it?
No, the first one was the 10 pounds of gold.
Okay, yeah.
Wow.
And then you got an NWA TV, so he's starting to appreciate the old school belts.
Yep.
And the cool thing is, so I love physical media. Like I would much rather have a physical copy of something that I'm going to watch than digital. But the beauty of digital is there is so much, there's more access than ever before to more wrestling than ever before.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, that's something that I think gets taken for granted all the time. You know, now I don't want to get into, you know, well, how much is censored, how much is the original broadcast, how much is not. But the fact that, you know, I can get on any modern TV, I can go to Peacock, I can go to YouTube, and I can pull up practically any wrestling that I want and watch it. It's mind blowing. For it was like, well, wrestling comes on these 2 nights a week, and if I'm home, I get to watch it. If not, then I got to wait till the next week to watch it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And now that's not a thing anymore.
Yep.
That's the thing I love most about the old style of wrestling is we didn't have internet back then, and we had the wrestling magazines, which came out
Yeah.
like a month or two after the fact.
Yep.
But I would watch Saturday Night Wrestling, which was actually taped the Monday before, and they had an event going on the next day, like Texas Stadium Parade of Champions, and it was 2 weeks before I heard what happened with Kerry Von Erich and Ric Flair
Wow.
because of the way the shows were taped and aired.
Yeah.
The suspense. I mean, people
Yeah.
today don't know anything about suspense. They know immediately what happened.
Immediately. Yeah.
I hate it. You know, the days of kayfabe are long gone, but you know,
Yep.
Yeah.
it, those things, like I still try and immerse myself as much because I want to enjoy as much as I can of whatever I'm watching. You know, I say it all the time when we're reviewing modern wrestling. I'm not asking you to give me a 10 out of 10 show every night. I'm just asking for a reason to keep watching.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know,
Sure.
retain my attention, and I'll gladly give you my money and support you.
Joe brings up a good point. Remember how hard it used to be to get the wrestlers' music? I used to hold my boombox up to the TV to record it.
Yeah, you get the crowd noise in there too. R.I.P. Blockbuster. There you go.
Right?
Oh, the wrestling section of Blockbuster used to be so great.
Oh yeah.
That's
I
what's
didn't-
good about being a wrestling fan these time and days. There's just so much to watch.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got 3 dome globes right now. Waiting on a 4th set to come in.
Now that's
but
Ben's favorite belt, right, Ben?
it
My
is.
favorite of all time. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm crazy about that.
No
And he didn't
sarcasm,
explode
ladies and
when he
gentlemen.
said
No
that.
sarcasm. No
That's
sarcasm.
his favorite
Can you
timepiece.
tell the
He's-
excitement?
We're gonna make him a watch for his anniversary when he's on
Yeah.
the show for a year.
Yeah. Landon brought up the fact that we were at this camp. It was a church camp. It's the largest youth camp, a Christian youth camp in the world. And you know, these kids are doing their Bible studies. They're doing their little events, their activities, and things like that. We're talking about the Montreal screw job.
Yeah. You remember when the Road Warriors got that Spike and Dusty sitting there?
Oh yeah.
Oh, jeez.
The girls around there going,
Good
Yeah.
stuff. Good stuff.
yeah. But we had a good conversation. That's when we met the first time.
Yeah.
They have a great big tabernacle. It's like a big arena.
Yeah,
site
it's like 5,000 seats,
Yes,
7,000 seats, something like
And
that.
Wow.
it was shut down because of the COVID, and they told us we could have the camp, but we had to stay in our cabin. And of course, we had music, so we went to a little amphitheater across the way from where our cabin was. And he played the guitar and sang for us. He was our music worship leader.
Cool.
So he's very good at the guitar, very good singing, and
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 for a
that's what
small fee, I'll come play music for you.
this show doesn't make a profit.
It looks like a sloth.
Randy knows what we're talking about. Yeah. Gianni wants to know, this is the second time he's asked this. What's your next bet going to be? If you could get one today, what would you get?
I mean, the easy answer is a domed globe
Ah,
because that's a must. So, but that'd probably be it. But also, there's a couple of other ECW belts I would not mind owning.
So basically, you telling us if you won a raffle, you would want a dome globe.
Yes.
Okay.
I could work
Just
you into a
confirming
raffle
that.
somewhere.
Yeah, just confirming that.
And for a small fee, I'll make sure it stays a raffle.
Yeah.
See
So
me,
you
little
won't
ditty, and I'll get
confirm
you
or
raffle.
deny that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, crazy!
Horrible.
All 100 entries were landing.
Yeah. There you go. But no, if you need a Dome Globe, I think I can find one for you somewhere. I'm sure. I've had at least 10 Dome Globes in my hands through either Relithers or I buy. Every so often, I'll run a good deal on a Premier Dome Globe, which they're getting to be rare now. Figs are almost hard to find for a decent
Yeah.
price. But I find a Premier every so often, and I'll relive those and sell them. So
I
see
agree,
what it is.
Randy. The ECW Tag Team Championship it's great. It's awesome.
Randy is a service member, a retired service member. I think he's retired, didn't he?
Yeah.
Thank you, Randy. for your
Appreciate your service.
Mhm.
AD Terry's in the service. I want to thank him for his service.
Shout out to AD. Shout out to Ben Walker himself.
Yeah,
Thank
Ben
you.
Walker's retired military.
Yeah.
Appreciate your service.
Yes.
Now, the one thing about Ben, every so often you'll see somebody go into belt groups and ask for a reference check for Ben, and I'll usually say Ben's okay, but be careful, he sends nudes.
True
He
story.
tries to show you his back.
story. Not gonna deny it. I didn't say who nudes, but somebody.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a young buck. He sure is. He's still learning. He's still going to classes. Still taking classes.
He's got a
very
cat that
ambitious.
AD's got a cat that can shoot like nothing else.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Remember that?
Yep.
Oh yeah. Oh
Bullseye.
yeah.
Bullseye.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. That cat was combat ready.
This cat
Yeah.
likes the field dress.
Yeah. When can you be ready? I can be ready right meow.
Right now.
So let's move on to some wrestling stuff. The big thing this last week was CM Punk was fired by Tony Khan after a
Oh
backstage.
gee, that's such a surprise.
Yeah, I mean, imagine CM Punk in a backstage encounter.
Was it number 7?
Teen?
I'm shocked. I'm so shocked.
He now there's different accounts of what happened backstage. He had an encounter or a confrontation with Jungle Boy,
Mhm.
and depending on who you listen to, Jungle Boy started it. The other side says that CM Punk started it. One story says it was a ribbing thing. They were just kind of goofing around. Somebody said no, they were serious, but something happened because CM Punk is now out of a job. And this happened right the day before the pay-per-view in Chicago, which is CM Punk's hometown, which I thought was kind of ironic or what would you say, appropriate? I don't know. Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. Andy, you forgot.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're supposed to remind me.
My bad.
Yeah. We are simulcasting on Love Those Wrestling Belts Facebook page as well as YouTube.
Mhm.
And I don't know if Ben shared the link in his group or not, but Championship Belt Brothers is his group.
That other group.
The other group,
The other
yes.
group.
And I will be linking the replay to this video in the Unique Belts Facebook page. So, Collision, yep, Collision. Is Collision not airing anymore? Are they done with that?
No, it's
still-
airing, but
Yeah.
but the ratings dropped right after that happened. After he made that announcement.
Right.
Yeah, they dropped. It was like 29% or something. Viewers dropped after the Tony Khan announcement on Collision.
Okay.
Which coincidentally was in Chicago.
Yeah,
So, you know, they took strikes everywhere with that.
And they were
I
telling
remember,
people
Andy,
to
I had
turn their
mentioned-
shirts in and out, inside out. They were telling people
Yeah.
to take off their shirts.
Remember, Andy, I said they should have announced it after they left Chicago.
Yes.
Oh yes. Yes. I
They
agree.
should have waited, but they jumped the gun, and I think they took a hit for it.
Yeah. Shot themselves in the foot.
Yeah.
But did
I mean-
CM Punk kind of force their hand there, though?
Yeah, but they could have delayed that announcement to Sunday.
And I think it
Or
hurt
Monday.
Yeah.
Warner Brothers with them.
It made
It
perfect
might have
sense.
hurt with the Warner Brothers deal.
AD just sent me his cat. Hang on a second.
Oh, there we go. This is great.
Right.
Cool.
Let me upload this sucker.
Don't mess with this cat.
Telling you what, that cat's going in.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it not downloaded?
That cat might know my wife.
Hold on, I'm trying. It's not downloading. Hold on a second.
That was a good one, man.
Well,
That was a good one.
Okay.
oh,
Now let's check it. Trying to get it uploaded and there it is. Okay. It didn't show up in my downloads. This is AD's sport utility cat.
Every time I see that, it reminds me of Tim Allen from Santa Claus. What are you going to do with him? Well, I figured we'd take a couple shots of liquor, field dress the cat.
Morris the cat joins the military.
Put that comment up. I need to see that.
Which one? 80? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that cat might be your wife. Oh, man.
Well, she almost has red hair, man.
Caja.
Yeah. The CM Punk thing was apropos.
It should have
the-
waited, like Ben said, until after.
That should have
well,
waited.
but we don't really know what the true story is behind that. I mean,
Right.
from what I understand, Tony Khan felt like he felt threatened by Punk. I guess Punk lunged at him. I mean, you're the boss of the company. If you ran your company and one of your employees act like they're going to take a punch at you, would you say, okay, we're
Nope.
not going to have you, we're going to have you fired 2 days later? No, we're going to fire you on the spot.
Well, CM Punk got his dog after him, too, right? Because he's small.
I wonder if how bad Tony Khan jumped when Punk went like this.
Yeah.
Probably jumped out of his skin. Right.
Like Barney Fife.
You ready?
Or do you guys think Tony Khan was waiting for this to happen again?
Get
When you
out!
find-
You're fired.
The one before looks like when you're surprised you got a proctologist appointment.
Hey, I love AEW Herb Abrams. That's who Tony Khan is. They both
Right?
Abrams.
Yeah.
He's the
Oh.
Kramer of AEW.
Oh man. Yeah, he probably talked to his attorneys before he released that statement. He had to.
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely.
That's probably the smartest thing he did.
Was he sitting down when he read that? I forgot.
I don't know.
That guy's probably got more security around him than Goldberg now.
Oh, yeah.
It is crazy, that just shows you how different not just the wrestling business is, but society, that obviously something like that can't fly. And there's the comparisons of like, well, Shawn Michaels got away with it. Think of all the guys that tried to pull this on other promoters. And it's like,
Right.
I would have loved to see someone try and pull this on Bill Watts.
Oh,
yeah.
Right.
But then you have,
Or-
Nails pulling a gun on Vince McMahon and stuff
Oh,
like that.
geez,
And it
yeah.
was like
Bill-
different times, different breed of people, not,
Yeah.
no offense to Tony, but I don't think he's exactly cut from the same cloth as some of those old rugged promoters.
Right.
Oh,
Bill
he's-
Watts or
he's
Fred
a
Von
hugger.
Erich. I don't think nobody would have pulled it on those two.
Yeah.
Oh no,
Or
absolutely
Vern
not.
Gagne.
Yeah. Fritz would get their hand. All right. Right between the eyes. Pull it. Come on.
I mean, look how Vern Gagne did Hulk Hogan.
Ah.
So he wasn't scared of anybody.
Andy, you're muted. Did you do it on purpose?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Found cat in the living room, and I had to hit the button.
Oh, okay.
Oh, was your cat ready to go target practice,
Well,
too?
he heard about AD's cat with a gun and everything, and
Yeah.
he's jealous, and so
You wanted to make an appearance?
So how much, Landon, are you aware of regarding the old school wrestling, like in the early to mid '80s, like the World Class, Georgia, all that stuff, all those territories?
Quite a bit. I mean, it's one of those things. So Mark, if you'll spotlight my video real quick, just because I want to point out my name tag. So the nickname I go by on the Brothers in Kayfabe is Mr. Wrestling, and it's just because obviously there's people that know way more than me, but I kind of pride myself in being an encyclopedia of wrestling knowledge, and it's because for
Professor?
whatever reason, out of all the stuff I love, Ninja Turtle, Star Wars, football, you name it, everything I'm obsessed with. For some reason, wrestling just kind of clicked a little bit deeper, and I've just retained that information from reading books, going back and reading archived magazines, watching old matches and stuff, because it's just so fascinating to me. That's why very polarizing person, but like Jim Cornette's podcast, like I love him when all he does is just a historical deep dive into
Say
either
what you will about
recounting
Jim
stuff.
Cornette. Yes, he does know his wrestling history.
He does.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I hope one day when he passes that his house, it'll be turned into a wrestling museum just because of some of, the old programs and stuff,
Yeah, he's a wrestling historian. Very
Yeah.
much.
Yes.
Mhm.
And I've said this many times. We need to treasure what we have right now, because you talk about Terry Funk, you talk about Superstar Billy Graham, people
Yeah.
like that. They're not going to be around forever. And when they die, those stories die with them.
Yeah.
And those stories are incredible. Some of these stories are just, you find out what really happened behind the scenes. There's some great stories out there, and I'd love listening to them.
Yeah. It's terrifying, how easily history can be lost.
Yes.
If it's not passed on, you think of, and Cornette's talked about this a lot, the years and years worth of wrestling TV shows that were lost because it aired once and then you either re-recorded over the tape to send to the studio for the next airing, or you just tossed it out. And it's just, there's so much wrestling history that's gone. But even just, the stories that only the boys know, of tours of Japan with Terry and Dory Jr. and just all this crazy stuff. And I agree. You've got to cherish it. Why we still have access to it. Because if not, we lose it.
Yep.
Very true.
When the Hall of Fame was in Wichita Falls, I go down there, and Bob Roop was down there telling some stories.
Yeah.
And he's still around, but he's not going to be very much longer. I don't think he's
A very nice man too.
Very nice man. Very distinguished. Very eloquent when he speaks.
Yes.
Completely opposite of the character he played on TV.
Yeah.
And you hear that a lot.
He has an appreciation for the business, a love and loyalty for the business, and I admire that. But and Jim Cornette, yeah, he has a foul mouth and he does embellish some things, but he knows some things.
Yeah.
I mean, he started out as a photographer behind the scenes in the Memphis Wrestling.
Yeah.
And
those are just things, literally a ringside view of history being made.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things, I said it earlier. I hate that kayfabe is dead and that it's gone. I'd give anything to have it back. But the one benefit is, man, you've got all these old school guys who are finally, they've been retired and now they're doing podcasts or they're doing interviews and they're opening up. And, they're not just sitting there breaking down, well, this is how we put the match together. It's like, all right, hey, I got to tell you about this time that Harley got arrested because he beat up 7 people in the Denny's parking lot. And it's like, stuff that, could easily have been lost to time. But thankfully, we've gotten a couple of those secret things out.
My favorite Cornette story has nothing to do with wrestling, except it just involves wrestlers. But there was the drive-through.
Drive-through, yes.
Yes. They had left a wrestling match in Hyden, Kentucky, and the only place open was a Dairy Queen, and they ordered some food, and I guess the people behind the counter thought, or the drive-through thought they were kidding because it was such a big order. And they get up there and they said, "We'll get started on that." Well, we thought you had it done by the time we get around there. And the fight was on. She said, "Well, if you keep cussing me, you won't get nothing." And Cornette gets out, slams the door of the car, shoves his body through that drive-through window, starts giving her a cussing. There's video of this on YouTube, and there's also a video of him watching that video. And he said, "Oh, I forgot that happened." And
that's the beauty of the internet, is there's things like that to where maybe back in the day, if you knew with somebody who got a copy of a copy on VHS that they could pass around. But now, somebody finally put that up on the internet for all to see. And I think it's been told before that as that's happening in the drive-through, Chris Candido and Sonny are inside ordering at the counter. Is that Jimmy? That's Jimmy yelling through the window.
Yeah. All right, get the message here, guys. Somebody's asked me about that belt of the week. Yeah, we, most of our audience is WWE, WWF, Attitude Era guys, and there are a lot of stories that predate that are just incredible stories, and those need to get out there. Look them up on YouTube. There's kayfabe, not kayfabe, but there's shoot interviews where they tell stories behind the scenes. There's a really funny story Michael Hayes of the Freebirds told where they were I think they were in Lubbock, Texas, and they were at a biker bar. And Michael Hayes was playing pinball, and a biker walked up behind him, slapped him on the back. He turned around. There's kind of a confrontation, and the fight was on. They run out the door, and they're getting shot at. They get in the car, start driving off, and Terry Gordy, he starts laughing. And Michael Hayes said, "What are you laughing at?" I said, "He missed."
Man.
But I just love to hear those stories. You don't get to when we were fans. All you saw was what came out into the ring. You didn't see the bit in the locker room stuff like they show now.
Yep.
What you saw was what came down the aisle and got in the ring. You didn't get to hear stories of these guys who hated each other, killed each other in the ring, partying at the same house that night, and things that had happened. So
you don't have the dark side of the ring from back
I love
then.
I love to have the curtain pulled back.
Me too.
Oh yeah, Cordell will get. Yeah, he slapped Santino Marella
Yeah.
over the boogeyman because Santino Marella was scared of the boogeyman. That's another funny story. I won't tell that one, but so look at the guy. Why couldn't you referee? Look at the guy. Yeah, go to WrestleCons. Go to the Gathering. That's a big one in Charlotte, North Carolina. Gianni was just there a couple weeks ago and got to talk to several of the wrestlers.
Yeah. Johnny and Rusty both.
Yeah, Rusty and Nick Carnivale.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Stratton.
Yep.
I would love to go. I just don't think I could come up with the time off or the money to go.
Right.
I think
already
Ben's
took
going to
the
go next
days
year.
off. Yeah, I
going
already
next
took
year.
the days off
There you go.
from work. I already put my days off for work for that week. So
Yeah.
So I will be planning on going. Get everything arranged, and soon as the ticket go on sale, we'll buy my ticket there, and then my plane ticket.
I'm gonna try. I can't promise.
I want to go. If I can come up with the money, I will do it. But my extra money thing I do in the summers is ending this year. I'm not doing it next year. It's just too hot to be out there mowing at 57 years old. So
I hear you.
Especially with that new mower you're gonna get.
The assault mower.
the assault mower, yeah.
Okay, you can mow my lawn.
Yeah. It's good money, but it's hard, especially here in Oklahoma. The summers get hot. Landon
Oh,
can
it's
attest to
brutal.
that.
I can imagine it down here. Ooh.
I mean,
Yeah.
today it was 107 degrees outside where I live, and 5 years ago wasn't no big issue. But the last since I had COVID and got that pneumonia, which I was mowing when I came down with the pneumonia, I was mowing a yard. I felt great. 5 minutes later, I was on the ground about to pass out. And ever since then, I've just not been very tolerant of the heat. So I'm gonna give it up. I hate to give up the money, so I'll just have to rely on the relivers for extra money, I guess. But if I could scrape up the money and the time off to go, I would love to go to the Gathering. I want to meet some of you guys and meet some of the wrestlers over there. And thank you. It was 3 days ago, but thank you. Turned 57 on Monday. A young 57, by the way.
Young 57. Strapping
Very young, yeah.
57.
Yeah, I'm ready for preschool. No, I went to play golf yesterday. I've had tendonitis in both elbows. I have a bone spur in this elbow, and when I had my shoulder surgery, I said, "Can we fix that too?" He said, "Well, let me give you a cortisone shot," and it fixed it up. I didn't have any pain. And then I was working on some fence a few weeks ago and was squeezing with the lineman's pliers trying to cut the wire, and I flared up a tendon in my elbow. And then we had a house fire a couple weeks ago, and I came home and my left elbow was hurting. So I went to the doctor, and she said I have tendonitis. So I've been taking prednisone, and it was working pretty good. And I had to have her refill the prescription because it wasn't quite better. And then my nephew came to visit. I don't get to see him very often. He's on his way from Florida to Stanford University in California. Stopped over for a week to visit my mother and I. And he wanted to go play golf. So I played golf with him last night, and I had to quit after 7 holes because my left elbow was killing me. So,
And see,
what
that's
they gave
the
me
thing.
for my arm.
That's the thing these young kids don't understand is you got veterans like Mark who just laid it all out in the ring, and they're paying for it now.
Right?
yeah.
It's still real to me.
We have that guy on an intro.
Wow.
Gianni met him, and
Wow.
he shot an intro for us, and it is still real to him. Damn it,
Hey,
Yeah.
it is.
It's
It is.
very real to him.
absolutely. Yeah. So this brings us to this is a quick hour. We already went through first hour, guys.
Yep.
Yep.
Go.
And Landon sent me a message behind the scenes, and if is that still true? You're going to leave us?
Yeah.
I was about to say you're welcome to stay as long as you want to. I've enjoyed the heck out of this. But
I'd love to stay, but in
you got dad
kayfabe,
duty.
I've got to go defend a title, but I've got to go put a baby to bed.
Mark
got
knows
you.
what that's about.
Yeah. We won't
No,
get into that.
that's cool, man. It was good to have you on the show, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
great to have
Hey,
you on the
pleasure.
show.
Pleasure to meet you.
Yeah. Pleasure to meet you,
Seriously.
Landon. Come on.
I appreciate you guys for having me, and out of appreciation, Mark, if it's okay with you, in the Wide World of Belts group, I'm going to put some links to some wrestling that if some people want to download, it's some personal archives from my collection, some historical stuff that I think, everybody should get to watch wrestling. So here's some wrestling that you guys may have either seen or not, but be looking for some links that I'll share in the Facebook group.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
That's what we're all
Absolutely.
about,
Appreciate you
man.
doing it.
Sounds great.
Well,
Absolutely.
Landon Baumgartner, we appreciate you joining us tonight, Mr. Wrestling. And come back again soon. We enjoyed that.
Yeah, man. Good having
Hey,
you, man.
I sure will. Thanks for having me, guys.
Pleasure, man.
You have a
Thank
good
you.
evening.
Man, pleasure.
Take care, Landon.
Hit me up for
Have a
hit me
good
up for
one.
another belt.
Hey,
Next belt,
I
hit me up.
will.
All right,
See you guys.
Landon, thank you.
Yeah.
All right,
Appreciate
man.
it.
Take care.
Let's get on to hour number 2. Man, that first hour just flew by.
Sure did.
It
Enjoyed
did.
having Landon
Right.
on. Now,
That's
Richard's
good.
doing this because he's just chomping at the bit to do this.
Oh, yeah.
Richard has a live belt unboxing he wants to do tonight, and I'm gonna let him tell the backstory on this.
Well, let's just say
I'll
this
put you
is
off the
the
screen.
second. Let's just say this is the second of the first belt I ordered. First belt was not good at all. I gotta say, I was even ashamed of even posting the new belt day when I did receive it. And I'm hoping that this one redeems it. Either way, you guys are gonna see a live unboxing. Belt box is not open, like the guys know. I showed the guys. Boxes stayed in my man cave since I received it. So my reaction will be the first reaction, and you will all see what I see for the first time.
Do you want to
And this-
name the maker yet, or you want to wait?
I will wait.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
Like I said, I'm going to reveal this belt, and the belt that I have is the yellow IC block logo WWF, which is CNC. And like I said, the first experience was not good at all.
Can you hold that box up the way it is so we can see how it came?
Yeah, let's see how that arrives.
I know you've already cut a little bit, but
Good old
yeah, it came
DHL.
open on that one end.
You
Was that
didn't
That's the
DHL
way
say-
it was delivered.
Is that
What?
DHL or who's the shipper on that? I mean,
It came through VIA through UPS.
okay.
I don't know what VIA is, but
Yeah. Okay.
Did did they have the sticker where it went through customs and they tore open the box or anything like that? They sometimes do
it
that.
did have an orange sticker on it on each side, but that's not customs.
Okay.
So
Sometimes they'll
it-
do that.
Yeah, it came straight through UPS through a third party, I guess.
Yeah. See, I order plates only. So what they'll usually do is they'll wrap the plates like 2 plates together, and customs will take and unwrap one set of those plates.
Yeah, I'm seeing APX, WPX, whatever that means on the box also.
Okay.
So
And
I'm
they just
trying
toss
to
them
open
back in the
this.
box. I hate that they
Yeah.
do that because they get scratched up.
So I'm gonna open it while we're on this thing here as I'm getting it.
It's bubble wrap.
And it is nice and bubble wrapped. It's still closed, not cut open.
Yeah, I use clear packaging tape, but the bakers usually use that brown packaging tape.
I
And
gotta make
they
sure not
are
to cut
usually
my
very
mic wire.
generous. They're usually pretty generous with that tape.
So this is the first time this belt is even being cut out of the bubble wrap. So I could tell it wasn't cut into. And none of the bubble wrapping was destroyed.
Andy. Andy's doing his mean thing.
Uh,
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
This is a long time coming.
Yeah, too long.
Too long. So hopefully this is the redemption right here.
This is going to
Hoping
be a
for the
fair assessment of this belt.
Hoping for the best, Richard.
Oh, I am too.
As long as you've been waiting, you deserve to get a good belt here. So
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, it's actually triple wrapped.
nice.
Let's hope that's a good sign.
Got some bubble wrap, got some paper wrapping, some
Yeah, I think
plastic
this-
wrap.
I believe this is the first unboxing on the show. It's kind of hard doing a live unboxing with plates. 'Cause it's
Yeah.
plates.
So here comes the reveal. Let's see.
That strap already looks floppy.
I mean, don't get me wrong, his leather work is fantastic.
I've been waiting on this all day long. We need the Jeopardy theme.
I mean, he wrapped it up really good. I got to give it to him. Feels like Christmas. There we go. All right, so we are out of the wrapping.
Finally got to play a sound effect.
There you go.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at it. I
You know,
do
radio
see-
stations. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I do see some plating issues. I do see some leather issues around the
Yes.
edges. I can see the black coming through.
You know, Richard, what I would suggest is because you can hold this up to the camera, but it's really hard to get a good angle with the cameras and the lights and things like that.
Mhm.
Go ahead and do it, but I would do a video review and put it in the group tomorrow. Or
Yeah,
whenever
I
you get a
am.
chance.
I'm definitely am.
In both groups.
And
Three
I'm looking.
groups, I'm sorry.
I'm looking at the tip, and I do see some plating issues in the tip as well, as far as the snaps as well.
What about the center plate, Richard? Is there marks on the center plate?
The logo plate is crooked.
Jeez.
Sorry, Gianni.
I do see some plating issues on the main plate as well. I see some discoloration
Jeez.
on the top. If I had to rate this from a 1 to a 10,
Mhm.
I would give it maybe a 1.5, 2.
Oh, wow. That's not good.
Even the side plates has some discoloration on some of the side plates. This is a CNC belt, so this is a little up branded belt.
Hello, Ricky.
I
Thanks
see
for joining
some
us tonight.
light scratches on the center plate as well. I mean, the
Facebook
backing
user
of the
ranks in a 7. I don't know who the Facebook user is, but
backing of the belt. There's some creasing in the back end of the belt already, and I haven't
Jason
even opened it
Cortez.
Hey,
Thank you for
Jason.
joining us tonight.
Hey, Jason.
yet.
He sent me a really hilarious happy birthday wish the other day.
The edges of the belt are really, really bad. Gonna be honest. If
Yeah,
I had
hate
to
that.
rate this with the first one is the worst. And this one, even the leather, I can see little bumps and everything in the leather and some indentations.
Jeez.
But I can see the black coming through the yellow.
Black
You
going
made,
through
sure
the
to,
yellow?
you made sure to tell him not to make sure that black does not come through. I remember.
Yes.
discussed
And
that.
like I said, this tip, I see a lot of pitting in the tip,
Jeez.
the bag.
Mm.
And I'm going to be honest with you guys. This belt came from Ali Nazir. And I'm going to be honest, this is going to be the last time I purchase from him. And I'm going to be honest, be very wary of this gentleman. He pulls you in with promises of a great belt, which he did the first time. He talks to you nicely, don't get me wrong. His communication in the beginning when I bought the first one was good. And when I bought the second one, I went up a tier to get a perfect belt that I wanted, the way I wanted it. And I'm very disappointed in this belt.
I'm sorry, Richard.
Yeah, I'm sorry
Like I-
too. I was
Like
hoping
I
for the
said,
best for you.
No,
I thought he was gonna knock it out of the park this time, and
he had his second chance and he blew it.
Yeah. and I refer to everybody: be
Well, Pierce.
careful when you purchase from Ali Nazir because you're not gonna get what you paid for.
Nope.
And
Let me,
I'm not
let
the
me create
only
a
one.
banner.
Yeah, I'm not the only one that he did this to. There was a gentleman that got a $1,600 WWE Network logo, and he destroyed that belt as well.
Is this how you spell the name?
Yes.
Okay.
No.
No,
No.
it's
One
one
S.
one S.
One S.
One S, okay.
Make sure you put one S
One S.
because there'll be
So-
another one with two S's 2 weeks from
But
now.
the,
Okay.
but the
Yeah.
but the ASS in the middle, that's kind of fitting. But you know,
There
Like
you
I
go.
said, this is my honest belt review. I would not stir you wrong.
No, Richard would not. Richard would not steer you wrong.
and he's been
I'm going to
waiting
give you
for
my
this.
honest review. That's why I waited to open the box because I wanted to do a live review. And I mean, come
Richard-
on, the second
Richard
time,
was very patient with this maker. He was very gave him every
Ultimately
opportunity.
patient. Too
Gave him
patient.
more.
the second
Gave him a
time,
second chance.
and this is what he did. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't know what he's got going on, but buyer beware. Beware. I will not be using Ali Nazir ever again.
Ridiculous.
As of tonight, he is gone from my Facebook, and I do not want contact with him. So beware
And-
of Ali Nazir.
And I'm wheeling down the makers in our group because I want to keep it to like a top 5 makers. And if he's in my group, I will be removing him because I'm wheeling down makers anyway. And this is just evidence that we're not. I don't want people in the Wide World of Belts Facebook group to be steered toward makers who will do this kind of work, put this kind of work out.
His packing was better than his work.
Okay. So you give him a 10 on the 10 out of 10 on the bubble wrap.
He's got a 10 on the bubble wrap and the packing, but as far as the work goes, he's got almost not even a 2.
So we know it's not the shipping.
Nope.
Oh,
This was a different shipping from last time, so there's no excuse.
You can pack and wrap a turd really good, but it's still a turd.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys, but this is
Yep.
ridiculous.
So that's done.
And Richard gave him every opportunity to make it right.
Every
I didn't bother him the whole time.
no.
I was told my belt was shipped. I didn't even get tracking. I had to wait. But like I said, buyer beware. Do not use Ali Nazir. I will tell everybody on this podcast, if you have a belt with him, I would ask for a refund.
We
Because
were all
I'm
in
going
it
to
with
guarantee
you.
you he's going to give you nothing but trash.
We were all in it with you, Richard, waiting. We're hoping for the best, and
Is this a Hyatt championship belts?
Yes, it's Hyatt
Yes, it is.
Championship belts as
yes,
well.
it is.
Okay.
Now, as far as the other guys that are in the group, I don't fault them. I fault Ali Nazir.
And we this is an honest review. This is not something that was predetermined. He opened this belt live. He showed us. You got that Tuesday?
Yeah.
Or Wednesday? Yeah, you got
I think it
Tuesday.
was Tuesday, yeah.
And he sat on the box and left it as is until tonight. And so this is what we got. But
I even
in all
told
fairness,
Ali that I
Richard,
was
what I
going
would
to do
do,
the same thing.
in all fairness, Richard, what I would do, because the lighting is just not that great for a live video, I would take it either outside or get it to a room where there's really good light and get close-up shots, videos, and just show the issues with the belt so everybody can
Oh,
see
I'll
this
definitely,
themselves.
post it in the group. I'll take
Okay.
a video tonight or
Okay.
tomorrow, and I'll definitely post it.
I'm so
Buyer
sorry.
beware.
I'm
This is
so
a
sorry.
$450 belt.
mean-
I'd be lucky if I could even sell it for $250, maybe $150.
I mean, we were with you through the whole process, Richard. I'm so sorry, buddy.
Yeah.
You know,
So this will be the last time.
I don't blame it. I'm sorry to see. I was hoping it worked out for you.
we all were. We all were hoping for the best.
It sounded like he was trying to make it right with his words, but unfortunately, it didn't work out that way.
I had another guy say it the best way. After this guy got married, that's when his work went down.
Okay.
So I don't know if there's something going on behind the scenes we don't know about, but there's no excuse for shoddy workmanship. I mean, you get the same kind of work on another belt that you expected to be good.
Well, he sure as heck is pushing his belts, his other belts all the time. You know how wonderful they are, and then he sent you 2 pieces of garbage belts.
So he's
And
done in my book.
Richard, Andy, and Ben and I and Gianni, we're on the chat every day. We talk every day. He's kept us updated on the progress of this belt this whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And I shared screenshots with you guys, so you already know what's going on.
Yeah, we saw the communication. We know what.
Yeah.
What's
And
up,
as
I,
much
I
as
just
Antonio?
I
hate,
did,
I just hate it turned out this way. I'm sorry to see that.
Hey, Ricky.
and as much as
Hello,
I didn't
Antonio.
want to intervene, I got kind of involved in it because he was begging his way to get back in the championship belt brothers, and he thought this was going to be contingent of him getting back in.
And I'm going to be honest with you. He was warned that if it came this way, that I was going to go full force.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I'm sorry, guys. This is my honest 100% review of the belt.
Richard is one of
Um,
the, if not the most honest guy in the hobby.
Yes.
He's
And very
would-
Very
patient.
patient. He was
Yeah.
ultimately patient,
yes,
waiting
yes.
for this.
You know, I always tell a maker when I order from them, perfection takes time.
Yeah, it does.
You
It
know,
does.
I maybe PM them one time and I wait maybe a couple of weeks to a month, maybe 2 months.
Yeah.
And I'll say, hi, hey, how are things going? And they'll
Mhm.
say, oh, it's going to plating, or, you know, it's going to polishing. And one update, maybe if it takes 3 months, maybe one a month.
Antonio Mendoza, who's by the way is an excellent leather guy. He's wanting to know what belt you got. He came in late.
I got the yellow block logo WWF IC 5mm, I believe, CNC.
So let me ask you
Is
this,
it 5
Richard.
millimeters?
It was supposed to be 5mm,
Yeah.
but this looks like it's 4mm.
Aside from the plating issues, what's the etching like? How's the etching?
I mean, the etching is clean.
Does it look like true CNC, Richard?
I would have to compare the two together.
I mean, CNC is like ultimately crisp, and somehow I have a feeling it was etched. I just have that.
I want to say it's. I don't know if it's going to show up in the video here.
You put
If
you
I
back
turn
on
it-
full screen.
Full screen. Get this mic out of my way here.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell, but I
Yeah,
mean, it
it's
looks pretty
hard to tell.
clean. It does look pretty clean as far as the etching.
I mean, even the sides of the belt is discoloring all around it.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, one thing I do suggest, and there's not a lot of makers out there that do that. Don't rush your work, man. Take
No,
your
don't rush it.
time.
Yeah, take your time.
If you want to make good sales and you
do it
want
right.
people to keep coming back, do it right. Take your time.
We will wait as long as it's done correctly. We will wait.
23 months.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say poor Mark.
In counting,
Wait
in counting.
Yeah, counting. Yeah.
Poor
Yeah,
Mark
it wasn't
waiting
fun, babe.
forever. Classic Shields.
You said it right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's not going for the title in that, I assume.
Now she was waiting for me to open this too. She just wanted
Yeah.
me to know, wanted to know when I was
Yeah.
going to open it. Like I said, guys, I would always give you my honest opinion. I would never steer you wrong. I won't say something because somebody told me to say it.
No,
I'm just
he wouldn't
gonna
do
tell
that. We
you-
know that. I've known Richard since 2018. He would not do that.
And like I said, I wanted to open it live on the show because I wanted to give you my honest opinion as I seen it for the
Mhm.
first time myself.
Yeah. Antonio says he thinks that's CNC made.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's-
I want
it
to
should
be,
be- it
I want to be totally honest about this thing. I mean, if the etching is good, we'll say the etching is good. Now the plating
the
issues is a different thing.
The guy
Well,
does not know.
I gotta say the etching itself is pretty good.
But whoever
But
does
the,
his
the
plating,
discoloration on the plates.
whoever does the
and-
plating needs to be.
Yeah.
Fired.
Yeah.
Needs to be CM punked.
But above
Well,
all else,
like Mark says, if I take it out in the sun tomorrow, but I can definitely see
But-
the black coming through the yellow.
but Nasir saw what was being sent out. He should have never sent it out with these issues.
Now,
Yeah. I
if
agree.
he is seeing them as they're going out, if you are seeing them and you're sending a product like this out, you should be ashamed of yourself.
Yes, very much.
Yeah.
So.
Take pride in your quality of your belts. Take pride in the quality of what you're selling, because what's going to happen is you're going to get more sales if you take pride in your quality of your belts.
Mhm.
And give the
You
people
get
what
repeat.
they're
You
paying
get repeat
for.
sales. You get repeat
Yeah,
sales.
you can
too.
have repeat sales. Like if this
Exactly.
belt turned out good, I might have bought another one.
You have a good product. It's gonna.
But this
Jump again.
this is technically the third belt I got from him, and I'm going to tell you, it's not good quality at all. Not at all.
Antonio, I appreciate the words. We love you guys got to stick together. So Antonio
Thank you,
Mendoza
Antonio.
is a great leather guy. So I would highly recommend him. I've seen his work. Yeah, it's a shame.
And word travels fast,
Yes, it does.
Yeah, it
especially
does.
in these groups in the hobby, and it can make and break you very fast, just from a review that Richard just gave and others given.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not going to talk to the guy. I don't want to talk to him. I'm done after this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Jason, I remember that. It turns out he wasn't a real American hero.
Yeah, I kept my composure, guys. I just wanted to give my honest review.
And well, once again, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
I agree with Antonio here. There needs to be some quality control over there. You can't just slap some
That right
some
there.
plating on and just send it out the door.
I
You
agree with
can't do that.
Antonio. There definitely, but there isn't.
Well, like I said, guys,
I've
buyer
heard this.
beware.
I've heard this about makers sweating on the belts and it messes up the plating because they don't wipe it off. They're supposed to clean the plates off before they start plating them. They use some kind of a stripper or some type of a preparation to make sure that it's a good clean finish, a good clean surface, so that the plating will adhere to it.
Yeah, you have to have at least one guy that's inspecting the belts before they're wrapped
I've seen fingerprints on plating underneath the plating. I mean,
Or give it some time for the plating to dry before you wrap them.
Yeah.
Or you
that's
clean
true.
them.
That too.
I've seen bubble wrap melted on the plating too.
That's
Yeah.
from the clear coat.
The clear
That's
coat.
from the
Yeah.
clear
Yeah.
coat. They'll
Yeah.
put the clear coat on, don't let it cure all the way, and then they'll wrap the plates, and then next
And
thing
then
you
the
know, you
bubble
got
wrap.
bubble wrap marks.
Nice bubble wrap
Yeah.
marks on the plating.
Yeah, that's true, Vito. But like I said, I will not be doing business, any more future business with this maker. He's done.
Johnny, take that up in chat. I'll let you guys work that out.
Yeah, he's
You guys
done.
work that out.
Never again.
So our first live unboxing on the Spanning the Globe was not a success. I'm sorry to say that. But we look out for our audience. We look out for our members in the groups, not just my group, but Love Those Wrestling Belts, which is Andy's group, by the way. I don't push him enough. I told Andy, if I don't bring it up, you better bring it up. Love Those Wrestling Belts. This is a good source. Championship Belt Brothers, another great source. That's Ben's group.
Mark, question.
If you're not a
for you.
member of either of those
Way you could- Mark, is there any
What's
way
that?
you could do Richard's live edit the video so that it can be shown video for everybody to see in your group and everybody to see it in my group and in
If
CBD?
you take this portion of the show and show it,
Just the part where Richard, the opening and everything. Richard's
Yeah.
If
true
it's-
You
reaction.
can just
if
clip
it's-
it.
if it's not too long, I might be able to, because it depends on how much memory you have on the phone.
Okay.
Well, you can also
I could
clip it from
try.
YouTube. Clip it
Yeah,
from
I could try
YouTube and put that
Okay.
clip on
Oh
there.
yeah, I could do that. Yeah, I could do that.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
try. I'll
Like
try.
I said, I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt.
You were. You did the best you could with what you
Yeah.
got. You did the best you could.
Very, very, very disappointed, guys.
Yes. We all are.
I'm sorry to hear that. Do you know what you're going to do with those belts yet?
Um,
You're out some money. You're out some money. You got to get your money back.
Yeah, he
somehow.
is.
You're not going to
Yeah.
get from Maker.
I don't know yet. I haven't decided.
A refund should be coming your way.
Something
doubt
should
that'll
be coming
happen,
my
but
way.
I would-
If it
I would
doesn't happen,
pursue that.
I'm not gonna keep my hopes up. But
Yeah. I would pursue
privately-
it. Pursue that first.
yeah.
I would pursue it. It's ridiculous.
But his business is
Yeah,
only gonna hurt because of this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Kebby, I agree with you there. I think it's just that the wait time is a little lengthy.
Yeah. A
And
two-year wait
I'm
time.
trying to be kind. I'm trying to be kind here because I'm 23 months into a wait. So
Yeah, the 2-year wait kind of gets depressing after a while.
yeah,
I mean,
I was
just
assured
remember-
it would not take 2 years.
Another thing you guys have to remember out there is just because a maker shows you a plating or shows you the belt online doesn't
Doesn't
mean
mean it-
you're gonna get that exact plating.
And it doesn't mean that it's theirs either.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them steal other people's pictures and say that that's what
That
they.
plus-
Antonio, it is Ali Nazir from Hyatt Championship Belts. Now, like
Ali
I
Nazir,
said, the
okay.
guys that are there helping him sell belts, I do not fault them at all. I fault Ali Nazir, the maker.
I mean,
Ridiculous.
yeah.
So
That's just
Like
that happens. And was this one
Yeah,
of those makers that hits your inbox up, or did you look for him?
No, he found
on
Richard.
the recommendation.
Yeah, he found
found
me
Richard.
when I got the
Richard.
the Jay Briscoe belt. And like I said, that belt right there was with flying colors. He made a mistake. He corrected that one before he even shipped it, and even told me, "Hey, there's an issue with this belt. Can I redo it?" And I said, "As long as you were honest with me, I trust your judgment." Okay. And he redid it. He sent it to me, and it was fantastic. So
So you had all the
Kebby
confidence
says
in
he
the-
got a refund from you. So there's a possibility you might get a refund. So
you had all the
work with
confidence in
Kebby.
the world from him, and then he does this not once, but twice.
Yep.
Twice.
Yep.
And that's happened to me before. A belt
Ricky,
made-
from what I
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Richard. I mean, Mark.
well, I interrupted you. I'm sorry. Rick, I was answering Rick's question. From what I understand, that's actually quite a process.
And expensive.
I don't think
It's
you're
not even
repolishing. You
worth
have, to
it.
you have to strip the plating off.
Yeah, you can't just put it over. It
Thanks.
has to be.
No.
Yeah,
Has to be-
it has
yeah.
to be clean right down to the raw zinc.
Mhm.
It's not worth it.
No.
You missed the live belt unboxing that didn't go so well.
Yeah, I
Richard
mean,
basically
like I
opened,
said-
opened
I mean-
Al Capone's vault.
For what it's worth, Richard, Ben knows who I'm talking about. I had 2 back-to-back IWGP version 4s by the same maker. Both were screwed up.
wow.
Both were screwed up.
Yep.
So I
And
know
you know-
where you're coming from.
And, makers are pretty bad about hitting everybody's inboxes up. I don't allow that in Wild World of Belts. If it happens, let me
Mhm.
know. If they're in the group and they're hitting you up in your inbox, let me know. I'll kick them out of the group because that's not allowed. Now, this happened with me with Unique. He hit me up one day, and I gave him a chance, and it worked out for me.
Yeah.
But
Sometimes it
that's
does
not the
work
case with every maker.
Yeah.
Sometimes it does. You find a diamond in the dust.
Mhm.
Well, on another note, guys, I do have 2 more belts on the way. I actually have, I should say, 4 more belts on the way. I have
James
2
Ellis,
out for stoning,
I think.
restoning, and I also have a big green and a lavender winged eagle coming.
Looking forward to seeing those, Richard.
This is a very expensive process.
Yeah.
Hopefully
I was
those
told to
2 will-
replay the
Not
belt. You
worth
might as
it.
well buy a new belt.
Yeah.
It's
Yep.
cheaper to buy a new belt.
Yep.
Yeah, the gender reveal energy's gone.
Right? Yeah. I needed something to make my day.
I was trying to
and
get into the
this
cigar
just-
hobby. I was gonna start.
This just didn't do it.
Yeah. Well, at least the suspense is over. I mean,
Mhm.
I hate that it turned out the way it did, but at least you're not sitting there wondering anymore.
Yep.
Yeah, I was going to get into the cigar hobby. I was going to start collecting cigars. I went to a cigar shop one time. The guy said, "What kind you want?" I said, "I want It's a Boys."
It's a boys.
It's a Boys.
It's a boys. The bubble gum.
Yeah.
I mean,
So the final verdict on this belt unboxing.
A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit.
that I have on this side plate right here. This tip right here.
You're welcome, Ricky. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate it very
Thanks,
much.
Rick.
Thanks for joining us.
And we jumped right into that at the top of the hour. I just want to stop for a second and remind everybody the show is sponsored by Mark Better Championship Belt Releathering and by Unique Championship Belts. And this is the belt of the week. If you missed the first hour, this belt was made by Omi, Orem Belts, and this is a leather job. This is not my belt. It's not for my collection, but I told EJ Kelly, who owns this belt, that I want to show this off before I shipped it to him. I just finished it last night. Here's the leather work. For those of you who missed the first hour, this is a hand carved. This is not stamped. This is not stamped. It's a hand carved block logo on the leather, which I did use a stencil for that. Of course, I got WWF stamped on the other end. He wanted that, so I put that on there for him. And here's your backing. Oops. And very nice curved place. Orm did a really good job on this. And EJ is very, very proud of this belt, and I can see why. He did a wonderful job on these plates. So this is a Hogan 86. And I'll pack it up tonight and ship it tomorrow to EJ. So EJ, if you're watching, this will be on its way to you either tomorrow or Saturday morning, but I'm going to try to shoot for tomorrow. And I got another set of plates just like these from Unique that I'm going to do for myself. But that is the belt of the week. I've got a couple of sets of tag belts I got ordered, custom tag belts for BCW's wrestling promotion. Tommy hit me up a couple weeks ago, said, hey, I want some tag belts. You did a wonderful job on that heavyweight. So I got those in process, as well as another world-class tag, regular world-class tag with the original artwork, because I sold that one last week, and somebody hit me up 2 hours later, said, I want that belt, and he's a former wrestler. He's a retired wrestler in Texas. And so I'm ordering another set of those tag plates. And I'm actually going to Texas on Saturday. I'm taking my son to a Texas Rangers baseball game. And while I'm down there, I'm going to hit Fort Worth up and go to Tandy's headquarters and buy some leather in preparation for these next few leather jobs. So, chicken wow. Platinum.
Chicken wow wow.
Yeah, I want to thank Antonio Mendoza for his input on that deal. He said he's going to Pakistan and he's going to give Ali Nasir a tongue lash. Did you see that comment?
No,
Richard?
I didn't.
Yeah, I saw it.
Okay, this is it right here. He knows him.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you.
Antonio Mendoza is another leather guy. He does a great job. We leather guys stick up for each other. So he does tremendous work. I've seen his work. Well, Scott, we've had a pretty good audience tonight considering it's Thursday Night Football going on. NFL opens up today, doesn't it?
Yep. Lions and Chiefs.
Awesome. Thank you, Kebby. Appreciate it. You too, Gianni. Thank you very much. Gianni has some leather work. Thank you, Scott. Thank you. Orm did a great job on the plates. I can see why EJ's so proud of it. There you go. But no, I've got a set of those plates from a Unique. They're in a box right over here, and when I get caught up, I'm going to put that on leather. I was going to keep it for myself, but I don't really have the room, so I may sell that one. I already sold one. Richard's got that one, don't you?
Yeah, big shouts out to Unique Belts.
Yeah.
Great maker.
Yeah. Unique's come a long way. He started out. My first belt I bought from him was a NWA TV. And one of them was the giveaway belt, and another one I sold to somebody else. And there's a few things on the art that were a little off. The size was a little off. Made some suggestions, and Unique was kind enough or good enough to take those suggestions. And he's really turned that around, and he's got a very comparable NWA TV. So, no, Gianni, I'm not going to have time to do that. But yeah, it's that area of town is kind of sketchy, and it's a lot of freeways crisscross right there. It's really kind of hard to get in there from where I'm coming from. But yeah, I would love to go back there again. It's not quite going to make it.
I just wanted to say one more thing. Like I said, guys, the guys who are in Hyatt Championship belts selling for him, I don't fault them guys at all. Don't take no shots at them guys. It was Ali Nazir himself that I dealt with. So if anybody's at fault, he is. I just want that known for everybody.
When you're saying the other guys at Hyatt, are you talking about other customers that are recommending him?
No, his other middlemen.
Oh, okay.
His middlemen. I don't blame the middlemen at all. I blame him, the maker himself. I've never purchased from the middleman. I went directly to the maker.
Hey, Antonio, this is going to be kind of off the topic, but if you get that done, or even if you have something done recently, if you'll send me a video, I'd be happy to feature it as the belt of the week, because I've shown my belts like twice already, and I can sure use some material. So if you want to show off your work, I'll be happy to do that. He's a leather guy, but Yeah,
that's awesome. That would be cool. I mean, even if we had everybody do that, that'd be awesome.
The leather guys don't compete with each other. What it is everybody has a preference. I've got my loyal customers. He's got his loyal customers, and some guys like to try different leather guys out. So it's a very it's kind of an interesting dynamic where we don't argue. I mean, hey, he does great work. Chris, oh geez, Paradise Customs, he does a great job.
Chris Nichols,
I-
Paradise
Chris Nichols,
Customs.
yeah, I was drawing Chris, the other name, the other leather guy. Ryan Stokes does excellent work. He did my first re-leather. He did the only leather that I haven't done with my belt. So Ryan Stokes, a lot of guys, and I'm sorry I'm leaving some guys out. I apologize. I'm just drawing blanks on names tonight. I'm having a good time. The last two shows have been kind of downers.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mean to bring the show down, but I wanted to mention something as well, Mark. I want to send prayers out to Kevin and his
Kevin Davenport.
family.
Yes.
The passing of his mother. Just wanted to let you know,
Yes.
Kevin, we're all here for you.
Yes.
Prayers go out to you and your family. My deepest condolences from the guys that spanning the globe to you and your family. Hang in there. We're here for you if you need us.
Yes.
We are. Kevin's our
Oh, wait,
co-admin in Wide World of Belts, and he's on the show every so often. So his dear mother passed away this week, and so our prayers and thoughts are with him and his family in their very difficult time of loss. I haven't lost my mother yet, but I lost my father earlier this year, and so I can certainly sympathize there. So our best wishes and thoughts and prayers go to Kevin.
Definitely.
One thing I want to mention, because we've mentioned giveaways on the show. We've reached 2,000 members, and I've got this cup with the Mark Leather logo on it that I've been meaning to give away, and it just kind of took a backseat to other things that were going on. I forgot. My daughter, who made the cup for me, said, "Have you given away that cup yet?" No, I have not. So I want to brainstorm with these guys to kind of come up with I want to do a quick giveaway. I don't know, make a big production out of it. I just want to send this cup out to one of our members of the group, preferably somebody who watches the show, just as a thank you for being a member of the group. We gave a belt away for the first 1,000. I'm just going to give it's a little 30, I don't know what it is, some ounce cup. Beautiful cup. I've got one myself. So in the coming weeks, I'm going to try to come up with some quick giveaway. No big production. Kevin had some other things in the works for giveaways. I don't know if he still have those plans. Because of things going on in his personal life, he's kind of made those things priority, which he should. So I don't know where he's going to go with that, but I'm going to do the cup giveaway because it's collecting dust on my desk. I'm going to get rid of it, and it's a beautiful cup, and I think anybody would love to have it. So
I think I got a pretty good idea.
Okay, all right, we'll talk about that. Yeah, I'm sure you would, Gianni. Appreciate the prayers for Kevin.
Yeah,
I know
prayers out to Kevin.
he's going through a difficult time right now. So we've talked about CM Punk. A new heavyweight champion EC3. We got a new women's champion. We got new tag team champions in WWE.
Oh yeah, that's right.
We do.
Well, son just came
The
home, so I
Judgment
dodged
Day.
Mhm.
Judgment Day.
Yep.
That's right. That's right.
All
Absolutely.
of them got
We just got
titles
shit.
now.
So they're carrying the gold. And
Who let the dogs
sorry,
out?
yeah, I answered that question. Huh?
He babysits for Michael Vick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, my son just got home from work and his friend came with him, so he'll bark for compliments.
So what do you guys
I didn't see
think
the
of
match.
Dominic's mullet?
Oh, it's awful. They've been making comparisons again between him and Eddie Guerrero. I mean, let that go. Just let that go.
There's no
Yeah.
comparisons.
Richard, did you check the show chat?
No, I haven't.
Just everybody keeps working off the same angle.
I was kind
from
of
20
flying
years
high there
ago.
for a moment. Maybe I need some laughs.
You get a laugh. You'll get one.
Okay. I'll look after the show. We got 20 minutes left. I'll go ahead and look right now. Why not?
Mark's peeling back the paper. Should I?
Should I? Where you at?
I
don't see
I
it.
like Ben's picture from earlier.
Oh, I don't see
Oh,
it.
you don't like
You
what I
put the group-
sent? Did you see it, Richard? I guess okay.
No, you can't. I mean, you can look and if you want to see it, yeah, you can see it. But I'm sorry,
mean,
Eddie Guerrero's Well, Eddie Guerrero's gone. Let's not tarnish that by bringing this crap up. I mean, just
Mhm.
let's don't
I
tarnish his
mean,
memory.
as
Let's-
far as him trying to look like Eddie, I see him paying homage to Eddie, but he doesn't
Yeah.
look like Eddie.
yeah, maybe
I
pay
mean,
homage.
it's
Yeah.
great for a storyline, but Dom will
Yeah.
never be where Eddie was. There's
No.
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 Come on.
And Rhea,
He's come a
beautiful...
little ways though since he made his debut.
He has.
Yeah,
He's one
he
of
does.
one of the most hated heels right now in wrestling.
Well, he's
There
come
you
out
go.
of his shell. He's come out of his shell.
Yep.
Yeah, he
Yep.
has. He really has.
Yep. He's come into
that-
his own. I gotta say that.
You got to give him credit. He's
Yep.
come a long way. He's come a long way.
Well, I
this is a
think
good
Rey
question.
Mysterio said it. The only way he's going to come on his own is if he separates himself.
And he did.
So
Where CM Punk can end up.
I don't know.
That's a good question. He won't go to WWE, I don't think.
No, WWE can't be stupid enough to do that. No.
Impact.
Impact. I could see him in Impact. I really could.
I thought Impact and AEW were just ROH.
Well, technically he was in Impact Wrestling, but he was in TNA.
No, AEW and our Ring of Honor owned by Tony Khan.
Okay, I thought Impact was owned by.
No.
Ben, wasn't he in
Eddie's.
TNA at one time? CM Punk when he was younger.
Yes. He's been
You
in
think the
TNA.
NWA
He's been in ROH. He's been all over.
He's been everywhere.
Do you think the NWA would take him?
There you go, Ricky. That's perfect.
I don't know. Maybe. I don't really think Corrigan is going to really want to deal with that.
Let's just hope NWA has a
knows?
good run with EC3.
I think he's going to go back to Impact.
Well,
That's where.
Corrigan hasn't made very good decisions lately. I mean, look what
No,
happened
he
to
has
Nick Aldis.
Ever since.
Okay, then I
he-
changed my answer.
ever since the pandemic-
Tyrus.
Ever since the pandemic, NWA's been going down.
They did not
That's the thing.
capitalize on that opportunity they had.
I was full-fledged behind them, and now they're just
Yeah, I was too. Even with the
pay-per-views
stupid
in
commercials.
the elementary school gyms. I mean, it's just ridiculous. It's just
Yeah. I don't have a problem with that. What I have a problem with is the fact they didn't get a TV contract. They didn't pursue a TV, and I know why. I think this is my theory. He doesn't have the deep pockets. I mean, he's rich, but he's not Vince McMahon, WWE corporate rich. He's
Right.
But doesn't he have the power to maybe bring in others that could with him?
he could that whether he did or
mean,
not. That's
It's
that's
just a
the
matter of
question.
his choice, his decision. You know.
Yeah. But I just don't think he's got the deep pockets that WWE has, and it's kind of hard.
Oh
to
no,
get on TV.
nobody.
TV contracts are not cheap. They really aren't. And TBS already has AEW, so you can't go to TBS.
What's next? PBS.
PBS, yeah. World Class started out on Christian Broadcasting Network,
Did they really?
but that was in the 80s.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Were they on PTL
No, they were on
700 Club?
700 Club, yeah.
Okay.
Same network as 700 Club. So they
Hmm.
follow Pat Robertson.
Wow, I didn't know that. Interesting.
Oh, I don't want to see CM Punk with 10 pounds of gold. Please, no.
No.
He's past his prime. He's injury prone. He's tantrum prone. He's drama prone.
Very
I
much.
mean,
So.
but the age thing alone, right there, he shouldn't hold a championship. He's had his time.
He's caused trouble everywhere he's gone.
Yes, he has. He has. He is a cancer to the industry.
Mm-hmm.
I saw something about that in one of the groups that Moxley was in AAW.
Moxley goes everywhere. I mean, Tony Khan gives him the freedom to go. He can go compete anywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, basically.
Yeah.
I'm just
Probably
going
working
back
out-
and looking at the comments.
Working on
laughing.
Living Horse as we speak. I have a set of plates for the WCCW heavyweight that I bought from Tracy Beeman, and they've been in a box for over a year. And I got a guy. I posted a picture that I took on the grounds of the Sportatorium in Dallas when I was coming back from seeing Lane. Gave him that belt, and I had all my world class belts with me, and I had 3 or 4 on my arms and that heavyweight around my waist. And somebody saw that picture posted in a WCCW fan group, said, "Hey, where'd you get that belt?" And so I told him, I don't have that one anymore. Gianni has it now, But I said, I have the plates for that. I can put them on leather and sell it if you want to. How much? I told him. He said, I'll take it. So when I get back from Fort Worth this weekend, I'm going to start on that. I've got a WCCW American title that I think I have sold to the same guy that's buying this 10 pounds of gold. So business is picking up a little bit. I'm happy to hear that because I got to get rid of a bunch of these belts. I got
Take care, Platinum.
Have a
I'll
good
show
night,
you real quick.
Platinum.
I got those 2 bottom boxes are plates. The third bottom that says Pokemon, that's my wrestling magazines, and those are my
Those are your
Power Count
Pokemon
figures.
cards. Don't lie.
I don't collect Pokemon. Those are my wrestling magazines. And that's going to be a future episode. That's going to be a future episode. I'm gonna pull out a couple of my magazines, read a couple of articles, and show you guys what old school wrestling is all about. So, retirement, yeah, really funny.
Oh,
Yeah, you already got that, Gianni. Sorry, Gianni has the WCCW heavyweight that's actually been on sacred ground. So,
ooh.
yeah, I'm busted. I don't know where I got that Pokemon box. I really don't. I've had that box for years. I've had those wrestling magazines.
He keeps his Pokemon balls in there.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Oh, that'd be interesting. But yeah, I've got the CCW heavyweight that I'm going to sell. In those 2 boxes, I've got a WCCW Middle Eastern that I'm going to sell. By the way, I've got a Winged Eagle, which I'm going to keep. I got a Hogan 86, which I'm either going to keep or sell. I haven't decided yet. What else is in there? Can't remember now. There's another couple in there. Oh, I got Hogan 84. I have Hogan 84, which I'm keeping for myself. That'll be on a lace strap. That was I was given a really, really good deal by Mayon Belts for that. And I really appreciate that. Mayon is another good maker. He doesn't sponsor the show, but he's a great maker. He's good to work with. He's been very good to me. And so.
Oh, I love my AEW championship I got from him.
Yeah. But Unique's a sponsor, so I'm pushing Unique. Unique does a great job. He does comparable work.
Definitely. His plates are fantastic.
I have had the plates for the NWTV from both Mayon and Unique side by side, and you can hardly tell the difference. So he's very comparable. There's slight differences, but it's really, unless you have them side by side, you never know. Even side by side, it's kind of hard to see the differences. But I mean, they don't all use the same measurements. The artwork differs just a little bit because they base it on pictures and things like that. But I would put Unique up with anybody. I really would. Yes, you have. Yeah, you have one of kind Middle Eastern. Yes.
I should have went to Unique for this one.
Your NWTV is Unique. Yeah, go to Unique. Check me out. If he does a bad job, we'll say he did a bad job. But
I know I'm going to go to him for the IC, the IWGP IC, probably after the holidays.
He made this painted US belt, and he made the silver one below it. Did a bang up job on both of those. He made my Georgia TV. He made my NWA National. He made my Luger US. He made that custom right there. He made that custom right there. Custom was based on the cardboard, not cardboard belt, but cardboard belt that I made when I was in college. So Unique does a great job. I use 1 or 2 makers. I've used Mayon. I've used Dream Championship belts. I use Unique. I spread the wealth. I'm gonna give all these guys a chance. Some makers specialize in certain belts better than others. I know Mayon makes probably the best AEW out there. He does. He made my IWGP. He's known for those 2 belts. So I don't have a preferred maker, but I've been going to Unique because he sponsors the show. We have a kind of a deal made back and forth, and he does a great job. So now that I've pushed Unique on you guys enough, but I highly recommend him. So, but Richard, I would pursue a refund from Ali Nasir first, and see where. Oops, I have my screen here.
I know what he's going to tell
Hit my
me.
mouse. Well, let's see what happens.
I do better next
Uh,
time, brother. Next door.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
I'm
bro.
looking at this belt now too, even more, and this one side plate has an indentation in it.
I'll get it right next time, brother. 2 weeks, bro.
I've
I already
heard good
have
and
one
bad.
made.
I've heard mixed things about Mustafa Hussein, but I've heard good things about him. I've seen some of his work. I've never had his work in my hands, but yeah, I've heard that too. They're getting those CNC machines. They're making HD plates, and that could change the game for a lot of them. But there are a lot of unknown makers out there that hit you up in your inboxes, and
Oh, yeah.
it's kind of like a crapshoot as to how good they are.
We all know about
Unique
that.
was one of those guys, and he's made a name for himself.
But
I
he
would
likes
like
to
think there's-
be. He likes the the criticism and the correction. Not criticism, but he likes the way you give him advice how to change things up for the best. And
That's a good
another
maker.
thing
He
about
will
him.
he will accept input. You know, your fonts are incorrect. Well, what font do you need? And he'll change it. I mean, that's if
Thank
they'll
you,
listen to
Antonio.
you, that's a good indicator you're a good maker there. So I've heard good things about Top Shelf. X-Man. I've heard of good things about X-Man. Antonio's going to put in a word for you, Richard. So
Thank you, man. I appreciate you.
appreciate that. Appreciate that.
I'm a very, very patient man. But something like
I also
this, it's,
Well, I also understand that different guys are going to have different experiences with the same maker, depending on different things.
Yep.
There could be their standing in the hobby. It could be the amount of business they give, or things like that. Mateen's another good maker. I didn't. I forgot to mention Mateen. He does good work. HD acid etched plates for. How do you do HD acid etched? How does that work? Is it the masking that they use, or what? Because acid etch is done the same way, but what makes it HD? What's the difference?
I have no
I
idea.
don't know. I've had several people approach me saying, "Hey, you need to get into doing plates." Well, I would love to, but I don't know if I want to invest all that kind of money. I don't have that kind
that's
of
a big
time or the money.
thing.
It's a
You'd
big
have to have
investment.
Orange County chopper money.
Yeah, yeah. I would love to have that. I missed the 15-minute mark. We're past the 15-minute mark. I've been just sitting there jabbering. This was a good show. I enjoyed this show tonight, guys. The last 2 weeks have been a bummer. I apologize for that. We had a little controversy 2 weeks ago.
Me
Had a
too,
little
man.
had a little behind the scenes drama last week, but that's all over with and settled. I'm ready to have some fun.
Yep,
Enjoy the hobby again.
Yeah,
Definitely.
definitely.
This hobby needs to be fun for everybody.
and that's what's good about
And-
us. We share true stuff.
Yeah.
We share our honest opinions on things, and it's just our opinions alone.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying there. Okay. I think the masking might have something to do with it too. The masking they use have something to do with it. Can't be
Oh,
all
okay.
acid. Can't be all acid. But check out Antonio Mendoza. I think it's Mendoza Craft is his Facebook page, I believe. Check him out. Check out Ryan Stokes Leather. Check out Chris Nichols, Paradise with the C, Paradise Customs. He does great custom. If you want a custom strap, he's the guy to go to. That guy he's creative. He's very creative when he does his. Or you can come to me, Mark Leather. You know, you want your
We
basic
can point you
leather.
in the right direction.
I'd love to have your business. I'm pretty busy right now, but I'll put you on the list. I'm just trying to get caught up, get some of these belts out of my bedroom, so my wife won't throw a fit anymore. Paul Martin.
Do you
yeah,
have
Paul
do you have the yellow pad like Chris Jericho? You put them on your list.
No, you just made the list.
You just made the
I
list.
use the list thing on my phone, but I'm real bad about updating that. And I've got several people that have made inquiries about leather, and I told them to put it on the list, and they didn't make the list. I apologize. I forgot who those guys are. I need to go through my messages.
I don't know if you noticed earlier, but I want to give a shout out to Jose Bazaldi for tuning into the show.
Yes, Beyond the Belts.
Beyond the Belts.
See, Scott has had a different experience. That's what I mean. You can't, we were just using Richard's experience. This is one. Your mileage may vary. And apparently Scott.
Yeah, it's only
used,
my opinion, and my opinion
yeah.
alone.
Yeah.
My experience with him.
But you've had 2 experiences that went
Experience
south.
says
Yeah.
back to
Yeah.
back.
2
Well,
experiences.
technically, I had 3 experiences. One was good, and then the other 2 were bad.
Okay. Arosha Belts. That's and then isn't Gary Sutton his middleman?
Yeah, that's Gary's man, I believe. Yes.
Okay.
I
I've
just
heard
can't
good
remember
things
his
about
name.
him.
That is Gary's man.
And I know Gary is a very controversial figure, but I've heard good things about Arosha Belts. A lot of people have used him, so
Mm-hmm.
be sure to check them out. Get a chance. I'm sharing the love tonight, guys. Leather guys, makers.
Just
Uh,
do
That's how it should
your
be.
Yeah,
do your
exactly.
You
research,
shouldn't be angry.
right?
Yeah,
Shouldn't have to
You
be
got to do your
angry.
research on some of these makers and some of
Absolutely.
these guys that do leather.
yeah. I mean, I'd love to have your
It's-
business. I mean, I'm about to lose my disability payments over my mowing, so
Gianni, is it perspective or prospective?
perspective.
Mark wants to buy that new lawnmower. he's
That's
got
right.
going.
Oh, he spelled both ways. Okay, he had it right the first time. I'm sorry, Richard. What'd you say?
No, I said Mark wants to save up for that new lawnmower.
Yeah,
The
new,
assault mower. Mark on the
Assault
assault
mower.
mower. Watch out, everybody.
He's going
I can't
for
cut
that
it, I'll
Super
blast it.
Shredder 3000.
Yeah,
But it's good that we do this show, guys, and we can give our honest review, our honest opinion. Doesn't mean it's the opinion of everybody else's. It's just our honest opinion.
and none of us are
Share your
experts. We have our own experiences in the
No,
hobby.
not experts at all.
I learn from Ben, all the time.
And
Ben-
just because I had a better experience doesn't mean somebody else had it.
Yeah.
There could be a couple of people that had it, but
it's
somebody-
just a good indicator. You might just want to do your due diligence.
yep, do your research.
Absolutely. We're not,
But the guy, the belt maker was given a chance to do it again and make things right.
Yeah.
Didn't happen.
it's a shame.
And-
I hate to
and
see
that-
that.
It
and
really
that's
is
my
a shame.
That's my big thing too. I've had bad experiences with makers, and they'll tell me the first thing they'll say is, "Oh, well, I'll do better next time,
Next
or
time.
give me another chance,
What's
or
up,
give
Jason?
me a chance."
Oh, Jason,
Hey, Jason, how you doing, buddy?
sure
Hey,
check out
Jason.
their podcast.
Yeah, the next time garbage just does not sit well.
No,
Yeah,
there is
shout
no
out
next
to the
time.
guys at the Bells and Belts, right? Is that what the podcast is called?
Bells and belts. Yep.
Yes.
Bells and Belts podcast,
Yeah.
man
Him
up.
and
Jason
Tony
Gray.
Thorpe.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't Tony Thorpe on that podcast too?
No, there was
No.
a separate podcast.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He
Man
was,
up.
he was on the previous one with Jason. Previous.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
got Tony Thorpe mixed up with never mind. Sorry, the other guy.
Joey Gray.
Joey
and,
Gray. Joey Gray. Yeah, sorry.
Oh, there you go. The other guy stuff again.
And the other
Here you
guy.
go again.
Well,
Yeah, I'm bad with names. There's people I've known for 20 years. I walk up and go, "Hey,
Look.
you."
I did join in the other night. I gave them, I gave them a comment.
You
We all got to
turn
support each
57
other.
to lose your mind.
Who are you again?
Right. The other guy. Do I need to put that back up there?
Yeah, no, you're good. You're good.
See,
You're good.
that's what I said, Scott. You went through the middleman, which is they looked at the belts before they sent them out, and I know they
Mhm.
wouldn't have sent this out.
No.
I think they do.
But yeah, that's cool, man.
And do your reference check, fellas, as I always say. Ask
Here's my
around.
salt
Don't be
cat.
afraid to be asking questions. We all don't know everything. If there's
No.
something that I can't answer for you, I'll try to help find the answer
Yeah.
for you. That's the
Mhm.
same with Mark, Andy, and Richard, and other people in the hobby.
always available to try to help you. Sure.
Yeah, ask around. Ask
Mhm.
around.
Do your homework.
Please
do your homework.
Ricky asked that question about plating earlier. That's the type of questions you should ask instead of
Mhm.
going to spend $700 to get a
Right.
belt replated.
Oh, sure, the other guy.
If I don't carry my license in my back pocket, I forget my name.
And
Right.
Nawaz is a good guy. He did
Yeah,
Oh,
but
I
Nawaz
got my
does
name on my
belt.
underwear. Hold on.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
Is it measured?
B.
You only have 3 letters in your name. I have 4.
No, I have 8 in my government name.
Yeah, there you go. Well, we're at the end of our second hour, guys. This show went by fast tonight.
Sure
Yeah,
did.
man.
It's great.
I would
good.
like to thank Landon Bumgarner once again, Mr. Wrestling, for joining us tonight from the Brothers Kayfabe podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Enjoyed
you,
that.
Landon.
Thank
Hope
you.
to have him on again soon. I'll be seeing him soon. Johnny's available.
10:30,
always-
Johnny.
He's
10:30,
always
brother.
available. He's always available.
10:30.
Hey Gianni, if a train leaves Chicago at 10:30 and leaves LA at 11:30 the morning before, what time do they meet in Denver?
Oh, I got to
Absolutely.
hear this answer. Come on, Johnny. Come on.
What's a train?
I'm seeking
Come on,
advice.
Johnny. Come on,
What's
What's
a
Johnny.
a train?
What's a train?
I'm not trained.
Yeah. We didn't even get to the 2010s in the NWA, but that's okay. We'll do it next week.
Yeah, I think we should do that next week. We
Yeah.
could definitely do that. I like that.
Me too.
So
Sorry I went so long, guys.
No,
no,
you're
it's okay.
Fine.
Perfect,
It's
bro.
okay.
You did just fine.
Ain't
It's
no
okay.
reason to apologize because that's the type of knowledge and information that we need out in the hobby,
Yes.
Absolutely.
in the community, whichever
Absolutely.
way you want to call it.
So we are at the end of our 2 hours, and I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight on behalf of Andy, Richard, and Ben, and then Landon, who joined us earlier. Join us again next week. We'll have another Power Pack show for you and another Belt of the Week. And until then, I hope you guys have a new belt day and a wonderful weekend. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
We'll
be
see you
well.
next week, guys. Have a good night.
Stay safe.